Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
All right, we're live.
We're live.
Back to back days.
Yeah, but we didn't really talk about our life yesterday.
No, we did not. We had an interview with Trevor from
Yeah.
Trevor Clayworks up in Goshen. So you all will have heard that last week. If you did not, go back and listen to it. We talk about clay guilds. We talk about the Michiana Pottery Tour.
Hi, that's a lie. We're actually gonna release it next week because of something. Anyway, this episode's great too. So, okay, bye.
So,
It might be one of my favorite episodes that we've recorded with a guest in a while, honestly.
I was looking at our list. There was a pretty big gap in the last time that we like talked to people as an
I
interview.
know.
It's been a
That's
while.
because we got burned out. You remember that time that we interviewed like 12 people in 2 months?
Yeah, it kind of goes in waves. I feel like, especially right after Nsika, we normally have a bunch of interviews, but
Yeah.
we've kind of tailed it off a little bit because feel like we had a longer list from Nsika. Maybe we need to follow up with some people to
Yeah.
get them to join us. But
We
yeah,
really want to have
we have
Bill.
spurts.
I really want to have Bill the science guy on, and I messaged him, but he didn't message me back. And I'm wondering if maybe I messaged him on the wrong, like, I don't know, maybe he just didn't get it.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm, I, I might have
did you?
texted him. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have a connection with that person, so you'll have to follow up.
So if anybody knows Bill the science guy from Colorado,
I think it's Bill Collins is his last name, right?
yeah, Bill Collins.
Dr. Bill Collins.
Doctor
I think so.
Bill Collins. Um, Let him know I would like to talk to him. Uh, yeah.
Yep.
Ryan, how is life?
How is life? I am getting prepared for a show this weekend. I had
Which show?
my Berea Craft Festival. I think
Okay.
it's my sixth time there, so it's a staple on my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a consistent one. It's one that is 3 days. I don't have a ton of 3 day shows, but I enjoy this one. It's all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It always plan for rain for at least one day. So
Yep.
I'm ready for that. This will be the first time I do an outdoor one with my standing shelving unit
Oh,
for
make sure you take
multiple days.
shims.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got some shims and I'm thinking of maybe going to Lowe's and getting some rebar and bending it a little bit and making them into stakes so I can get some in the ground to
Oh,
kind of
that's a good
hold the
idea.
shelving without having
You could
the
also just get a
sandbags.
piece of, you could
Because
also just get like a piece of wood.
how am I going to drive that? Just drive those into the ground?
Oh,
I
why
was
do you
gonna
need
I was gonna put the feet into the ground just because normally I put sandbags to kind of brace them a little bit, but
to,
if it's
okay.
raining and wet, I don't want the sandbags to just get soaked.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Plus the sandbags are like 50 pounds a piece. The rebar would be way less weight, I
Yeah.
think, to have 4 to 6 pieces of rebar that are maybe, I don't know, 10 inches long going into the ground. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I will,
Hmm.
if I don't get over there tonight to get some or tomorrow, then I may need to just go with the sandbags. I was just being prepared for the rain because I don't know if I'll be in a low spot and I don't want the sandbags to just get
Right.
soaked, but I don't know.
You could just bungee it to your canopy.
I'd rather it be bungeed down or be held down than held horizontally.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty stable. It's like in an L, so it's
Yeah.
but I'm still going to use something to stabilize it at the ground level.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So it should be good. We always head down there. It's kind of in the mountains, so it's a little unpredictable, but we got, you know, nice scenery down there in the mountains of Berea, and my parents always come down, so it's a whole weekend. There's this one restaurant that we always go to. It's a bagel shop in the morning and it's restaurant and cocktails in the evening. They have smash burgers.
We didn't go
So
there when
good.
I was there. That
I
must
don't
have
know
been the
that we
year
knew
after
about
I
it.
was there.
It might
Yeah.
have been new. It might not have been there when you joined us that
Yeah.
first year. It's really good though. We usually eat it at least twice. I
That's
think
funny.
Rachel normally gets bagels there in the morning,
Mm,
and then we get cocktails, and usually they have burgers and fries kind of thing.
yeah.
Pretty tasty. It's called Nightjar if people are in the area in the future. It's called Nightjar. Nightjar
Nightjar!
and Native Bagel Company, I believe.
Yummy. I love bagels.
So, pretty good spot. It's something you don't expect in a small town like that,
Yeah.
where it's
I
like
love when that happens.
a, a
A
nice
hidden gem.
hidden gem, yes. There's not a ton of places to eat there that are not big, you know, chains. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a few. But that's the main thing for this weekend coming up. I had my soda workshop this past weekend with four folks joining us. So that was a great time. Everybody was really excited about the results. The group is always different every time. So we had Taylor was like the life of the party over here with just excitement, asking questions, and I was doing
Aw.
demos and going. So that was very fun. Nice to balance out because it was very hot. So, kind of tough, long days, you know, making stuff, glazing stuff, sweating together, running up and down the hill,
Oh, the hill.
dealing with fire. Yeah. So it's, but it's been getting easier and easier. I feel like I feel like when I'm firing it, I don't have as much. I mean, I do have weight on me because I want their results to be happy. I want them to be happy with the results, but it's just kind of a testament to, am I getting better at firing this thing? If they're happy about it and the firing
Right.
came out good, that's kind of my only gauge of, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing
Right.
with the results? And they're all happy and the temperature was good and we didn't have to fire it for like 16 hours. I think we did it in like 10 and a half, which is good. So kind of right on par with what I've been doing recently. So little improvements.
There you go. There you go.
Yep. What's new with you? What's going on?
Oh, I wanted to tell you something kind of funny. Also a little depressing, but also funny. Um, I went to the doctor's office today and I've been like gradually losing weight since I've been at Speedball. I imagine it's because I eat lunch every day at the same time, but also I eat a lot less lunch because I don't have very much time.
Oh, you
And
don't eat breakfast either, do you?
I eat like two pieces of string cheese usually.
Mm.
But and so I've been like gradually losing weight. And what's so funny about it is that my doctor thinks that I'm actually eating healthier, but really I'm eating like pasta like four times a day or four times a week. And like because I'm so depressed that I can't eat anything else, I'm just not eating as much, so I'm losing weight. And and they always make me weigh myself. I've been to the doctor like four times in the last month just for like different periodical stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
today was just like a checkup because I got on ADHD meds. Hooray! And so I get on the scale. I lost 5 pounds since last week, right? I was
That seems
down
like a lot for a week.
5 pounds from last week. I think. I don't know. And but that's also before I ate a giant Chipotle burrito afterwards. So, I probably like if I stepped on the scale now, that burrito was probably 5 pounds. So, um, which was like the only real meal I've had this week. But,
I'll tell you
so,
something funny after your story. A
okay.
little short
But,
aside.
uh, I like stepped off the scale and I was like, wow, depression's doing its job. And the lady didn't even laugh.
She was probably depressed that you said that. She was probably
She
like,
was probably like, this
"Ooh,
lady's crazy.
what's my reaction supposed to be?" You can't
What's
laugh
your
at somebody saying that.
what's your side
So
note?
the aside, you know how you always well, I don't know if you weigh yourself often or you just have a if you have a scale, you tend to be like, okay, well, I'll do it like before the shower, after shower. I used to always do it before the shower because I was like, well, if I'm wet, then my pores are going to be clogged with water, so that could add weight. And then I was like, but you got to dry off all the way because these water droplets are going to weigh so much, you know. And then when you weigh it, it's going to be, as if I have to the hundredth of a pound or so, hundredth of a pound.
Right. I
Yeah, as
don't
if
weigh
you're gonna die.
myself. Like, I don't have a scale
Yeah.
because as a fat person, it can get pretty obsessive and I don't care anymore. So, and that's
Yeah, I think
another
that's
thing,
probably a
like
good. I mean, not even having we don't even have the scale in the bathroom anymore. It's in
sometimes like
the
when I go to
bedroom,
your
but
house, sometimes like when it was in the bathroom, like when I go to your house or your parents' house, I'll weigh myself just to be like, I wonder where I'm at, you know? But
right.
it doesn't affect me the way that it used to, I'm not
Hmm.
like I had no I it's funny because like, the doctor was like, oh, well, you should probably start eating healthy, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, like, I don't eat super unhealthy, especially when I'm making food for myself. I've been like trying to get my fruits and vegetables in, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's just been a really hard time mentally and like with the way that my brain works. Like, I made spaghetti the other day, right? With like meat sauce and everything. And was gonna eat it for lunches and I made it and I like smelled it and then ate it and it was too salty. And then I was like, great, now I don't want to eat the rest of this. Like, and it's fine leftover, like the salt kind of dissipates. But
So can you add something to it to balance out the salt?
no, like the leftover was fine. It's not too
Mm,
salty. But the point is that I just get sick of food. Like it's like repulsive to me.
mm.
Like I have to like make myself eat. And so it's, whatever. I've been eating a lot of frozen meals because that's how I can stomach that stuff. But like frozen meals are kind of expensive. Like
Yeah, I have
unless you want the
no.
really shitty ones.
Yeah, like a Marie Calendar kind of thing.
That's not shitty. That's good. That's a good one. And those are like,
I
I
used
don't
to eat
know.
that Alfredo one. That's just a fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah.
That one's not shitty. I thought that one was dollar 50. I don't know what they are these days, but
Not Marie
we haven't
calendars.
got them in a long time.
Marie calendars is probably like $5. I try to get like the healthier looking ones, like there's like burrito bowls or whatever. But they're like $5. And like, the cheap shitty ones are like a buck. But I don't like it tastes like it's a dollar. Like
You're like, I'd rather eat a dollar.
I would rather eat a dollar. I feel and I like and I also haven't eaten like frozen meals in such a long time. And so I got like all different brands and I'll like eat it. Like today I ate this lean cuisine one and it was like a cheese alfredo, not like a ravioli or whatever. And I like got done with it and I told and there was like people around the table and I was like, don't get this one, guys. Not good.
Verdict is in for this one.
Yeah,
Will
not
not
good.
buy again.
Will not buy again. Um, but yeah. So yeah, so anyway,
I was just thinking with the change in like your body is moving way more than it was 6 months ago or a year. Like
sometimes
I just suspect that you getting up and having a routine of is going to be enough of a shake up to your body.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. There is a lot of change in my life and stuff like that. So I do think that that does benefit to it. I think that the regularity of
Hmm.
life benefits to it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, Rachel's always shocked that I don't usually eat lunch until 2:30 or 3 o'clock every day.
right.
Because we eat dinner
Yeah,
at like 9 and then I don't
9.
eat anything until 3. So I don't know how much. I mean, some people talk about like intermittent fasting and stuff like. I don't know enough about that stuff, but
Yeah, that's because you've always been skinny. Um, The except for he does look at the calories on everything. I will say that. Uh, what I will say, this is good, cheapish food that's not good for you. Aldi has these calzones, and
Mm.
they have pepperoni ones that you would really like. A pepperoni one. They have cheese ones, and then they have buffalo chicken ones. And the
Frozen?
no, they're in the fridge. They're in like the fridge
Mm.
section by where the
Okay.
cheese is. And they are so fucking good. They're better in the microwave than they are in the oven. And the cheese one is
Oh.
like if you like tore it, the cheese would just like goo out like a commercial.
Mm. Okay.
And I was eating those for breakfast last week and I just couldn't eat lunch because they were so big, you know, so much to eat. Anyway, apart from that,
You're watching somebody's house, so it sounds like you've been enjoying that, or it looks like you've been enjoying it. You've been on the podcast the last couple of weeks and been in a home.
I have been in a home. I'm on a couch right now, which is nice. They have internet, which is nice. They have AC, which is nice. It's 90 degrees just straight right now. Very, very happy I bought that AC unit, even though it doesn't keep the whole van
Do you still
cool.
go out to the van to sleep, or do you sleep in the
Yeah,
house? Okay.
I go out to the van to sleep. I don't know. It's just something about sleeping in your own space, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been trying to get some stuff done at the studio and I just haven't been motivated, but I'm getting there. But that's kind of going to be our topic today in a way. So,
A roundabout.
in a roundabout way.
Yeah, Becca's leading the topic today. I don't exactly know. I kind of know a little bit, but we'll see what
The
we get
fun
up
part
to.
about when I lead the topic is that you never know what it's going to be, so we never have a plan, so it really can change into whatever it wants to be.
But we have the first half of the episode planned with maker their moments and listener questions and
Right.
ads. So there's enough structure that I feel good enough about it.
Yeah, and we even set a time limit,
Yes.
which is pretty impressive for us. Uh, I feel like I wanted to tell you something, but I don't remember. No, I guess not. Oh, I know. You kind of know this, but I've been doing Barons at work, and Barons are they're like a flat disc that have a handle. It looks like a meat press, you
Mm,
know, like
right.
what you would put on a grill, but it's about 4 inches round, and they're plastic. Sometimes they have a mesh on the top, sometimes they don't, and it's to press down block printing inks or rubber stamp inks, that type of stuff, so you get an even coverage, and you don't have to use your hands, so there's not like finger, like less pressure
Right.
one
It's
place or the
yeah,
next.
it's easier on your hands too to add the
Right.
pressure.
And and I'm apparently now the Baron lady, because I took interest in that, and it's this doing the same thing over and over, which I love. We all know that I love.
You
And
love
when I
being
like
barren?
the Baron, Becca the Baron, and and I'm assuming for years they've been doing this fucking Baron situation, and they have like a really low table, like it would be kind of like a coffee table size, and then they have a box, and then they put another box in it, and then they take them out, and there's a drill that is air pressure, so when you push up against it, it turns on, and so
Mm.
it's really quick, and you stand up the whole time. And the first time I saw that situation, I was like, that's not gonna fucking work for me. And so I sit down the whole time while I'm screwing in the handle, and then I get up and like put the boxes on and pack them and everything like that. And Christina, who is one of my favorite people at work, she's very blunt, and I really like her. I think she reminds me of my mom, and that's why. She was like, I just don't understand how you can sit down all the time and work. And I was like, I don't know. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right. Well, you
But
said there was also some efficiencies with that role that, they've had some issues with are people hitting the quotas with this specific thing
yeah, that's with a
too. So,
machine. That's with a machine that's standing up for the most part. But also, it's pretty wild that the people that have used the the screwdriver machine, right? It's mounted onto a table. I would say the table's 30 inches tall. Okay. And and from what I understand, some people complain that their arms hurt. Like they won't do it for a long time because their arms hurt over time, which makes sense when you're doing something, continuously, or your elbow starts to hurt or something like that. And when I started doing it, I started standing up and I realized that my hand was like in the wrong position. When you push the baron up against the
hmm
screwdriver, you need a lot of force to do that, like a fair amount. And if you push it up and you're above it, you're not getting that leverage. And so if you sit down and you're close to it, you have all of that leverage and you're not using your arms, you're using your body instead. And that's
hmm
why I sit. And of course there was a detailed email sent to people about how, oh, they needed help with the like I was just like, "Hey, there's a lot of things that could change here in this section alone."
oh, you sent an email. I thought you got an email from somebody that was going to say, hey,
No,
you
I
shouldn't be
sent an
sitting down
email.
to do this.
Well,
Okay.
they're like changing some of the machinery and I was like, I have some ideas if you want them. Um, because I have too many ideas. But yeah, like sitting down is actually a way more body positive way to do it. Like your body isn't in his and there was like before me, there was like a kid, he's 6'2". He's 6'2" and he's like his arms are like down at his waist essentially, like pushing up this Baron into the screwdriver. And it's like that is so bad for your arms and your hands. Like it's
Right. The pressure and yeah, all the pressure's down on your
on your
arms
wrists.
and you're trying to push it up. So, I mean,
Yeah.
30 inches is a standard table height for the most part. So if
Yeah.
you're
Well,
sitting,
maybe it
you're
might be like a smidge higher, right? It
okay.
might be a smidge higher. But yeah,
But
I
yeah,
was
your
like,
elbows are perpendicular for the most part, I suspect, if you're sitting,
yeah.
and you're probably pretty stable.
Well, and your elbows are against your side, right? So you're
Right.
tucked in. Yeah. And
Close, closer center of gravity. Yeah. A
right.
little more control.
And I mean, like I didn't tell Christina that the reason I sit is because it hurts my hands if I don't. And also it's, I feel like it's better. But and also because I have an ankle issue and I like to sit.
I
But
mean, whatever hits the quota is probably what they're happy with, as long as you're
yeah,
keeping
I
up
mean you're
with,
doing like 600 a day, right? So
right.
it's not like 200 and you're, yeah, we're great. No.
Mm-hmm.
I did 600 a day, probably could have done, but I finished early. So I probably could do 800.
800? Wow.
Maybe 750, 730, depending on how fast I was.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it takes like an hour to do 100, but like just over.
That's a
So,
lot. I'm just thinking of how many places they would have to, how many people are they selling these to that you're doing 700 in a day, but you're not doing them every day for like 3 months.
no. Yeah, no, this was like an 1800 order, 1800 piece order.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild, you know?
That's cool though. Just focus on, okay, this is what we're doing. And you're probably going to be doing something different in a week, right?
Maybe. I think that they're trying to keep me in that section because I like it and maybe not other people don't like it. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I never mind being there. But like the latter half of the day, I packed up sensitizer and photo emulsion for screen printing.
Mm.
Did I tell you about the dungeon? The powder dungeon?
The powder dungeon. No, I did not hear about this.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you really quick and then we can move on. because I realized we haven't really talked for a while because you were gone. And yes, and while you were gone, I was in the powder dungeon. So the powder dungeon is photosensitizer for photo emulsion, and they used to use a gel. And this
Hmm.
sensitizer is like really expensive. Okay, they come in like bags and they're expensive. It's like powder gold. And and like think of cobalt times like 20. And um is it gonna rain? Anyway, so I was chosen to go back there, and it's like a new product, so with a new machine and but what I wanted to say was is this room that's probably uh it's probably the size of half of your studio, so maybe like
I got
six by
600 square feet,
six.
so it's like a 200 square foot thing,
Yeah,
20 by
it's like
10, 15 by 15, something like that.
no, like it's maybe like a 8 by 8 room.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 8 by 8 room. And it has a Laguna fan, like one of the spray booth fans, the
Hmm.
spray booths.
Yes.
It's got one of those, and then the machine, and and then the powder, right? And the powder gets everywhere, and it's green. It's like the color of matcha. And
Oh,
and if you don't turn the fan on, it like gets in your mouth, and it's kind of like bitter. Uh, and
I mean, you
I
should be
remember,
going in there with like a gas mask on or something to
I
enter.
remember asking Rob, like when I first went in there, I go, if I eat this, will I die? And he was like, no. So anyway, you have to work all day with this fucking fan, like going insane. And there's an AC, right? But the AC is going and the fan just blows it right out. So it's
Right.
this
It needs to like enter through the floor and then the fan at the ceiling so it at least passes by you to get out.
and so you're like in this room for 8 hours by yourself and just filling up these bottles, making sure they weigh the right amount. And it's like 4 grams, right? We're talking about like 4 grams or 5 grams or whatever, or a half a gram or 1 gram.
With the powder.
Yeah.
So it's just a 4 gram jar of powder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, it gets everywhere. And it's really, you get really sleepy because like I had to wear these headphones because they're noise canceling. And and like I'd be like focused doing stuff, and then my boss would come around and he'd have to be like, "Hello." Hello. Like trying to get my attention so he didn't scare me or something. I was in there a whole week, and it was a long week, but it was still kind of fun because you can just like sing as loud as you want because nobody's gonna hear you.
Oh my gosh.
I watched Sister Act 1 and 2. I didn't watch it. Like I literally had my phone on like and it has a giant freezer because that's where they keep the sensitizer, and I was like, they're gonna put a dead body in here someday. Like
Oh
it's
my gosh.
and and I got yeah, so anyway, I was like I watched Sister Act 1 and 2. Well, my phone was like on the freezer. And since I've watched it so many times, I just listened to it. But it was great.
Hmm.
I loved it. It was awesome. And then
Jeez.
it's supposed to be called the Powder Room, but I call it the Powder Dungeon. Everybody knows.
It's not ladies asking, "Hey, I got to go to the powder room." They don't mean that.
Mm-mm. No.
Not that room.
I should probably make sure that I can say all this on the podcast. I
Yeah,
can't
hopefully it's
imagine
not
that.
not workplace violations here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't talk about any of the machines or anything. So, I mean, everybody knows they sell photo emotion sensitizer. It's pretty wild though. That stuff is really cool.
Hmm,
Anyway, we should talk about kilns.
we should. L&L kilns. So haven't used the plug and fire too much, but one fun thing I did, we were doing the workshop here, right?
Yeah.
We loaded up the kiln and then we had a handful of pieces left. I've been glazing a whole bunch last week and I was like, "Hey, why don't we just like fire this stuff uh what didn't fit in the kiln for the people that were here." So I actually loaded up their stuff and we fired it on Friday night when we finished loading the soda kiln and fired it up. They got their
Mm.
pieces out. We did a little kiln unload. That's always pretty exciting.
A micro kiln unload?
Well, we actually didn't load the mini kiln. We loaded the big kiln, the big,
Oh, wow.
the big new kiln. Uh, well, relatively new. It's from 23, but the, uh, the big L&L. So they were actually here for me to unload on Saturday because I did fire a little bit before they got here. So we
Yeah.
unloaded one of the kilns, loaded up the other one, started firing the other one. So we were just unloading kilns the whole week. We did the big kiln, we did the soda kiln, and then we unloaded the other big kiln in the studio. So a couple oxidation
Damn.
firings, soda firing. They were very pleased with the results between, oh, that's what it looks like in oxidation. That's what it looks like in the soda kiln.
Yeah, that is a cool like perspective, you know?
Yeah, and the atmosphere always adds some nice depth to the pieces. So, but everything came out perfect. Good coloring. This was one of those that the oxidation firing that I did, the two that I did, like I don't think I had a single piece that came out askew. Like everything fired perfectly,
Wow.
which kind of, knock on wood, count my blessings here, but yeah, very happy with the results from top to bottom. Everything came out really nice. So, and they were able to see all the workings of it. Because they were kind of asking, "Hey, have you always had L&Ls? What other kilns have you had? How do you compare it?" And I was kind of talking about, the consistency from the temperature top to bottom, which is great. The zone control helps with that. And then the controllers, talking about they can see the different controllers that I had on the different ones. So it's
Yeah.
nice to show them the Genesis and
You're like a whole kiln museum.
all the settings. Yeah. I mean, I got all L&Ls over here these days, but
Yeah, even the fucking soda kilns in Illinois.
yep.
Yeah, you can
And
be
I
like,
told
you
it,
can also gut it.
yeah, you can gut it and keep the little thermocouple tubes. I did mention that. I was like, did you see these little tubes sticking out into the kiln? Those are where the thermocouples come into it, and they're shielded so they don't actually get degraded from the soda.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little perk for the soda firing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the results were really good.
It is great that anybody that's a newbie can just kind of like get a kiln like an L&L kiln and just start and not have to worry about that they're gonna burn their house down. You know, I mean, like,
Hmm.
I do think that there is a lot of, and I think that anybody would probably agree that there's a lot of benefit from getting a used kiln just because, you know, it's a used kiln and you have to learn certain things. But if you are like kind of stressed about firing and you have the money, it's nice to have that peace of mind.
Hmm. Yeah, they have their workhorses. They can last a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of like you see people with their wheels that are 30 and 40 years old and they still are workhorses.
Yep.
Kilns similarly, if you treat them well, they'll last and
Hmm.
you know, you're not degrading the brick, for instance, when you're changing out elements because of the the thermocouple, the channels. Sorry,
Yep.
not the thermocouple channels, the element channels,
And element channels, yeah.
and yeah, so little perks here and there of the way it's constructed, so it makes it easy to maintain, and whether you're a beginner or an advanced, you know, you've had a number of kilns in your lifetime, you
Yeah,
kind of grow to appreciate the nice features that make it easier and make it more, you know, you can trust it better. You know what to expect.
for sure. For sure, for sure.
So,
Yes,
if
indeedy.
folks want to look at all the kilns out there, whether it's the plug and fire, the other kiln sizes, if you're thinking about 3 cubic foot, 7 cubic foot, where do they go?
Hotkilns.com.
There we go.
That
Do you want
went,
to do? Go ahead. What was that?
oh, that sounded like a character from Bob's Burgers, the ant. But you've never seen Bob's Burgers, which is a goddamn shame.
I have not. I have not. Do you want to do a listener question or maker of the moment?
Let's do Maker of the Moment, and then we'll do a listener question.
Okay. I'm gonna start today on the maker.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, I'm ready.
Mine is Tara Underwood. Tara.Underwood. That's T A R
Tara?
R A. And I got one of her mugs. I'm trying to think where I got it. I want to say I got it at Ensika maybe a few years back. But she has nice matte surfaces on the outside. A lot. I think it's Terra Sigillata. She's more of
Wait,
a
wait, is Tara dot Underwood? Because
Tara.Underwood. Yes.
is
T
her
A R
account
A.
private?
No.
Is her account private?
It's at the very top of our list.
Well, I was just gonna search it.
Yeah. Tara dot Underwood.
I did that too, and
Wait, is it private?
it's private.
Is it really?
No. No. And then I clicked on her website and it says it's expired.
What? Tara. Tara,
Tara.
what's going on? I'm trying to shout you out. I feel like I've got to keep her though.
Okay, but can you take a picture of it and text it to me? Like take a picture of one of her posts or something.
Yes, I can do that. Okay. Well, you might need a friender to find it. I mean, you can request a follow if you want, but it's
I requested.
okay. So she's got it's I think it's earthenware and it's got a white terra sigillata kind of wash on the outside. It's got some glossy black glazes on the inside and on the handle. It's got nice
Mm.
little dimples on the handle. I don't know if you remember the mug that I'm talking about that I have, but it's kind of got bands of kind of blocks of it that are black in areas and the satin white in the other areas. So it's got a
It's
nice
not the one that's
feel.
like a painterly one, right? It's not the painterly one from Canada. Is she from Canada?
No, she
Okay.
where is she from? Let's see. It doesn't say where she's from actually. Man, this is I didn't know she was on private. That makes it a little more difficult. I think she might be in Asheville. My shared studio space and gallery, Clay Space Asheville. Oh, that might be where I got it. I might have got her piece in Asheville.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, she's got some that are, some bright colored areas of terracage, but just very clean, very comfortable mug. And yeah, I'll share this photo with you and you can tag it
Thanks.
once I figure out how to download the photo. They don't make this easy.
Just screenshot it.
I hate doing that, but okay. I'll get it to you. Yeah, I'll screenshot it.
Okay, we'll get
Rachel
it.
Rachel always does that with photos, and I'm like, that's not the best quality of the photo. You need to
It's
download the
on a
actual.
fucking phone. Nobody needs the best quality of photos.
I mean, it depends on the phone you're on because some phones have really good quality resolution, but here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Do you
Um,
recognize that the mug? I have a mug like the one on the right.
oh, I was gonna go. Oh, I didn't look at it.
It's got like
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
and it's got like a
Mm-hmm.
little kind of bubble
The
hollow.
handle is very comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be a little tough to hold, but it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, maybe we can convince her to unprivate her profile. Maybe not. Who knows?
Possibly. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
people just have to friend her and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Tara. Who do you
That's
got?
Tara. Okay. my person is Tanya Everard. Everard. And um it says functional
Ooh,
porcelain pottery, sometimes with cats, in YYC, DM for inquiries. I don't know what YYC is, but I really love the pops of colors that she's going for. And like originally what originally why I clicked her photo is, to
I
be
love it.
truthful, I was looking for somebody new, but I find that very few people use textures in a way that is simple, clean, understated. Like, it's not like overdone. And she's got like these hand-built textured mugs that are so clean, and the handles are nice, and
Mm.
they're just very put together. She's got the right glazes for the textures.
Single glazes, and then you just let the glaze do the work and just highlight the little pops of
Yeah,
texture. Yeah, I love that.
exactly. Like, and she does a really good job at it. And like they're just really well done. And so I love that. And then I went to her profile and she's got a bunch of stuff that has like, I don't know if those are slip transfers or if they're decals or what, but they're cute as fuck. The bowl plates, these ones,
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
there's like a stack of bowl plates that have these like just these rim of like floral designs, and they're so pretty. And so yeah, I'm really a fan. What's funny is that she's kind of all over the board as far as it looks like she has three different styles, but they all kind of like go together, you know?
Yeah, there's little
Um,
hints of, the textured mugs are gonna have, they're still gonna be floral, for instance. So maybe floral is kind of the theme through a lot of it.
yeah, and then she has like the line work. She's got some line work stuff with like gold inlay stuff. And yeah,
Whew.
I'm really a fan. I like all of it. I like all of it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan when people don't have just one and only one. They dabble in different designs and styles, and you kind of see the evolution and what they gravitate to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these that they're very tight patterns and then there's accents of gold on them. You
Mm-hmm.
see that and then you see the looseness of, a stamped mug. But it's also like organized and consistent, but it's hand built. So it's got those little elements of like
Yeah,
there's
and you're
some
not a
organic nature
hand-built
to it.
person. Like, I think that I don't know that people really understand the gravity of when Ryan says "ooh" to
Mhm.
something that isn't soda fired, like or wood fired.
I mean, it's also I also would need to hold it and feel it and stuff. But I mean, my favorite mug that we have is hand built. I mean, it's got a lot of sentimental.
Yeah, because you got it on your fucking honeymoon.
Yeah, but I do like the that it's hand built and it's
Yeah.
light and the handle's really nice. The handle might have been pulled though, but
But I guess what I'm saying is for you to be like, wow, 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 this is really amazing, and it's not like your style of work is makes it pretty incredible, you know?
hmm.
So,
I
yeah.
looked up what YYC is. YYC is Calgary, Canada.
Ah,
Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That's the
I wonder
airport
what.
code.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wonder why it's YYC.
Yeah, these airport codes are kind of weird. I don't I don't know how they.
Wait, you know what's funny is that Denver, for my entire life, we've called Denver DIA, Denver International Airport.
Oh, I thought it was DEN is the
It
abbreviation,
is.
isn't it?
It is. Like, not until this year did me and my mom notice that it's DEN instead of DIA.
Oh,
So yeah.
yeah. And a lot of people don't know that the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky airport is not even in Cincinnati. It's in
Right, it's
Kentucky.
in Kentucky.
They're like, we landed in Cincinnati. It's not Cincinnati. You're in Hebron, Kentucky. Welcome.
Yep. Tara. I don't know. I don't think I can tag her because she's not.
So if you do at Tara.Underwood, it won't
I
let
got
you
it.
tag
Okay,
her.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The moment for today. Should I mention that the profile? Nah, it's fine.
No, I would just say, yeah, I think she'll
It's
still
fine.
see it. She'll still see the shout out, but
Okay.
maybe that'll give her a little itch of, a bunch of people start requesting
Yeah.
potentially.
Maybe. Okay.
It was kind of funny because during the soda workshop, a lot of times I'm not actively photographing and taking videos, and I
Hmm.
don't want to get distracted with doing a lot of documentation while I'm hosting. So some of the attendees will document and they'll post and they'll tag me, and then I'll reshare it. And they said we kind of got a sense of the not like your pottery army, but like the community that you have. Because a lot of people will start clicking on their profile and looking at their stuff and requesting
Hmm.
follow-ups or whatever.
Oh yeah, I followed
So we
like
get
everybody.
a lot more
Yeah.
visibility from
Yeah.
just me sharing it, which is nice to, you know.
It is nice.
And then one of
Okay.
the people here didn't even have an Instagram, so he missed
Oh,
out. Curtis missed out.
yeah, but I kind of love it when somebody doesn't have an Instagram.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm
I
not gonna lie.
dabble.
I
It's okay.
dabble.
Maybe I'll get to it at some point, but yeah.
Perhaps. Okay. Question. Do you want me to read the question or do you want to read the question?
Let me read the question and we'll see
Okay.
what you got here. So it is from Jenny Wood Arts and it reads, Hi, thank you for making an awesome podcast. I love listening while I'm in the studio. My question is, how do you handle not getting accepted in the markets? I recently got rejected from 5 events and I'm at a loss. My work sells in the stores I'm in. I can sell $2,000 to $3,000 at my regular market events. I'm a nice person. I don't get it. I look at other potters who were accepted in, and in a few cases, I get it. But often, I think my work is on par. What do you do to push through in the face of rejection and not let it steal your self-worth? Thanks. Also, Becca's jingles are the best.
Huzzah!
Jenny Wood Arts.
Well, I feel like this is applicable to you because didn't you have one show that you like continuously don't get into.
Yeah,
And
I'm on like try number 5 or something.
at this point it's almost comical. Like
Yeah, we've gone through this. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't
but
know what's going on, but
and I'm probably not the best person to ask because that kind of stuff kind of flows off my back. I think
hmm
that I go in expecting not to get in. And so if I don't get in, I'm like, cool, cool, cool.
right.
On to the next. Um, but also I think that, just because your stuff is good doesn't mean it's gonna get in.
hmm
And that has nothing to do with um like how you sell or anything like that. It just has to do with maybe, maybe the judge didn't like purple that day, or maybe
You could have been the last one on the list to be looked
yeah.
at the end of a long day, and they were just exhausted and like you have no idea. It's so
And it could be
subjective.
your photos, it could be something that you have no idea, or and it doesn't have anything to do with your work. It just has something to do with the presentation that is given. Like I know that my presentation is pretty garbage, typically. So I think that's why I never expect to get in. But yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, so there's many different ways to look at this. We've talked to this a little bit about jurying and the subjectiveness of it that you kind of mentioned it, this each show there's different jurors. Some shows you expect they're big reputable shows, you expect that they've got these like crazy jury processes that maybe they hire people. Some of them are so small, they just have a few people, like 3 to 4 people that do the jurying and they decide who they want in and who they don't want in. So,
Mm-hmm.
some of these take it with a grain of salt of, the person jurying may not be, an expert in the ceramic field, for instance. They may not have enough jurors to say we have one per medium. and we're choosing who's getting in that medium to set a certain bar of what we want. Some of it is, they have different jurors come in and they pick and choose who they want. I mean, ideally, you want it blind jury where they don't know who the artists are. They're choosing them based on, looking at the photos and the booth shot and all that. And, like you said, it could be they weren't feeling great. It could be that there's way too many in your medium and they had to draw a line somewhere and you just didn't fit where that within that line of who got in and who didn't. Or there could have been other people that are similar enough to you and you would have had you would have been another person that kind of fit into the that looked similar to what other ceramic artists had, or they're looking for certain types of work that's ceramic that maybe they're looking for more traditional potters or something like that, and your work doesn't necessarily fit in with that, and that's they're not willing to take a risk on that. Or there's a number of different factors. What I try to do when I get rejected is try to look at it from what can control. One, I can control how I react to it. I always try to look at the positive. If I don't get in, I say, well, that frees up my calendar for that weekend. I can apply to another show, or hopefully I apply to a different show and maybe I have a backup. Or, okay, well, what am I going to do with that weekend instead? Or, okay, well, I know that my application didn't work, and then look at it critically. What could I improve on? Could I improve on my photos? Could I improve on my booth shot? Was it clear in my booth shot what I had to offer? Uh, I'm continually improving my booth. I still feel like I'm not there. I mean, I think we should always feel like we can always do better with our applications.
Listen, we can't all be Andrew from That's So Andrew, okay? Like, and he also changes his booth every single time he has a show.
Yeah, so
So,
I mean, it could be, yeah, it could be a number of things. I don't think you should put it on yourself of, and also just because you don't get in doesn't mean that you wouldn't have sold well there, and it doesn't mean that the people that got in are selling better than you would have sold there. Like, so just because they make the cut, it could be that they like the look of their stuff. But I would definitely recommend if you haven't gone to the show and you applied to it, like try to go and see what it's about anyways and see kind of how you fit into the other artists that are there. I know you kind of mentioned that you did go and see some of those. I like to do that. And then, it's always a shot in the dark. Anytime you apply, even current shows that I've applied for and got into in the past, like I never assume that just because I've got into a show before, I'm going to continue to get in. There could be
Yeah.
any number of factors that affect whether I'm going to get in or not. Also trying to, I don't know if this makes it, maybe it depends on the show, but the earlier you apply, closest to the application date starting, like, does it help you? Does it not help you? I don't know. Maybe it depends. Some of them have rolling deadlines where they kind of have a starting point where they start accepting, and then they start accepting people as soon as the applications roll in, and then they have a firm deadline when they stop accepting people. So, I'd say get in there as early as you can if possible. If you're doing it through like Zapplication, I don't know that's not typical for Zapplication. A lot of times they'll kind of have a deadline. They'll have a jury period where they start looking at everything during a 2 week period or whatever, and then they accept people or not accept people. So I don't know how a lot of these jury processes determine the order of operations of when your application shows up. If it's first in, then you're the first one to get looked at or anything like that. But analyze your work, analyze your application. I don't know that I've changed much of my bio and explaining my work too much. The main things that I'm adjusting are the photos, the product photos and the booth photos. So I always try to put my, and I've also been on the fence about what photos do I put? Like, should I put my bread and butter things that are going to be the majority of my booth, or do I put some of my fanciest, nicest pieces possible in the application, even if it's going
Yeah.
to be a fraction of what's represented in my booth? And I tend to lean toward putting the fanciest stuff, my proudest work that I think represents me the best. And that's what I tend to apply with. These days, I do not apply with soda work at all because that is different enough from my oxidation work that I don't want to confuse things. So I tend to stick to just the oxidation electric fired stuff in my booth. But if you're doing different lines of work, kind of use that judgment of what work represents me the best. And that's what you can apply with.
It is pouring.
Is it? It was pouring earlier today here, so.
And I'm almost positive I closed the van door. Pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I did.
But yeah,
Anyway,
good luck on the applications. I think you always need to cast a wide net. Just like
yeah.
I got into a show last year. I've absolutely loved it. It was really close to me. I was on a wait list. I got off the wait list last minute. I was like, that was awesome. Can't wait to be back next year. I try to do my best to say, thank you to the organizers. Thank you for people that I see around. If that makes any impact, I don't know. But, you know, uh, keep applying and, you know, put out the best positive vibes and work that you can to keep improving and you know try some different shows as well, like try applying to different shows and see kind of where you get accepted as well. Some of them I still apply to that are monthly markets that just ask for your website and a bio and your Instagram and that kind of stuff, and it's not formal application that some of
Yeah.
them don't ask for your photos of your work. They ask for your website and your social media, which I generally think those are easier to get into with the type
Hmm.
of work I make. So I try to keep a mixed bag of the jury fancier art shows. And when I say fancy, I'm not even talking about some of these fancy shows. I'm talking these are like mid-range fancy shows, like not crazy shows. That's Andrew Krieger might be applying to, or some other folks.
Kruger.
Linderman Kruger
I said Krieger. Krieger, you're right.
Krieger.
You were right. I'm just so used to people saying his name wrong that I just automatically went to respond with the opposite, but you said it right.
Yeah, so I'm generally not applying to those, but sometimes I apply to St. James Art Fair in Louisville. It's a fancier one and didn't get in. I didn't expect to get in. I was like, you know what? I'll get my application out there. It's worth the whatever $35 you apply with, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. And there you go.
But I do understand how it's kind of disheartening, like when you don't get in and you are using like Zapplication and it's like $50 a pop. You're like,
Hmm.
ah, like
Yeah, I think
another
that's the
$50 bites the
hmm
dust.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I can certainly add up.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially when if you double dip it as well. If you have two
Hmm.
the same weekend and you're paying and you can't do both, then you're automatically going to be out some money if you
Yep.
get into both. But, you know,
Yeah.
but hopefully
They
you
do
get
not
into
make it
one and you
easy.
make up the difference enough to be like, okay, like it was worth applying
Yeah.
and getting in or waitlisted or whatever. But good luck. I want to say Jenny. It's Jenny. Yeah, Jenny Wood. So there you go. Good luck, Jenny. She's in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Also, it should be noted that if you're in Pennsylvania or anywhere on the East Coast, that you have a much higher concentration of potters in those areas too.
Hmm.
Like craft is really large in the East Coast, Southern East Coast and East Coast. So getting in is I would assume that they're inundated with potters. So like if somebody got there first, they're gonna choose them and then they're gonna be like, that person's kind of just like them or. So yeah. I would imagine that there's a bit of a higher competition, you know?
Yeah, that's just kind of the risk you run with applying to some of these shows where there's a lot of potters.
Yeah. Yepers.
I mean, from what I've heard, jewelry is more
Jewelry's awful. Don't.
competitive. So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
all right, that's the question.
Okay.
Thanks, Jenny.
Yeah. So, how have your advancers been in the soda kiln?
They've been great. I every time after we get them out, I do have to kiln wash them so we don't get any soda drippies attaching to the bottom of the shelves and dripping into the pots. But quick spray kiln wash on there, get them into the soda kiln. We got little glaze runs here and there. I was better this firing. I didn't get a whole puddle of every pot stuck to the shelf on the top shelf like I have
Like
done
you
in the
do
past.
sometimes? Yeah.
So the attendees did a little bit better of not saturating their glazes on the top shelf. So that was great. And getting them popped off there, nice and easy. Easy cleanup, scraping them, like easy. Nothing to it.
Nothing.
So that was great. And then, we were loading up those oxidation kilns, piling them up. Got the thin ones, the ultras. Got one of those. Got some standard
The ultras,
advancers.
the ultras still blow my mind. But I do not understand how science works like that. And it's pretty wild.
Yeah, they're pretty great. I got a full one, and then they did give me some samples of some half shelves that are ultras. They're not actively selling those, but they've been good for me so far. But
Because you were kind of a tester.
I was a tester, yes.
Yeah.
But the standard round one, it's great. I can put it in my large. It is a 20-inch round, the one that I have, so it can go in my larger kiln that's got 2.5-inch
Yeah.
walls, the brick, and then I've got the 3-inch brick. So it's kind of meant for the 3-inch brick one, but it's nice regardless. Like I can pile that bad boy up, and I'm not worried about it. And those generally I don't put kiln wash on, but if I do have the underglaze, I will put a little dusting of alumina. Every time I have videos and show people the unloading the Sgraffito cups, they're always looking at the shelf and they're, how do you not have problems? And I've
Yeah.
always got to be like, well, it's alumina. And, people are asking about, do you mix it with wax or are you just putting it on there? So I did get a few questions here and there about the alumina situation to keep the pots from sticking.
Yeah,
So
for sure. We love a good Illumina. I really want some of the ultra thins for my plug-in fire, but I'm happy with the ones that I have,
I'm
and
trying to squeeze all the space.
I will never need them, like I'll never, because I have so many of the ones that I have. Um, but it is very handy and you never have to worry about it, just like if and especially something that tiny, you'd never have to worry about somebody like dropping it and cracking it, right? Like they're probably not gonna. So like even it like when I lent my kiln out a couple weeks ago, I gave them one of the advancers to put in the middle and stuff. So yeah, they are handy.
Very handy.
Very handy.
Clean up with the glaze eraser if you need that. Scrape it up. Sometimes when I'm doing the soda kiln, I use one of the big, I think it's the big trowel that you would use for like maybe I don't know if it's for concrete, but we use it for the soda kiln stuff. But that's what I scrape
Yeah,
it with to get the big chunks off and everything. So you can do it with a putty knife if you need to, just to get a quick, or if you want the glaze eraser to kind of grind it down a little bit, you can do that as
yeah.
well.
Also, you got like a drill grinder thingy
Yeah, it
from
was
them, right?
I want to say it was, I don't know if it was a silicone carbide
I think it
attachment,
was.
tools and accessories, grinding wheels.
They also have posts, kiln posts on their website and regular um Correlate
Yeah,
shelves.
yeah, SiC, silicon carbide, the 16 grit. So it's just a little screw-on attachment for a angle grinder. You can just pop it on there and grind it to shave off the chunky bits.
Have you used that?
Yeah, we already ground it down actually, because we were cleaning off some soda shelves. I think we did it
Nice.
over the last like 3 to 4 soda firings we did.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm wondering if Erica used it at all for the regular shelves to get chunks off. I think she used the angle grinder for
Hmm.
that part, but getting the bits off of the actual advancer shelves just to nice and clean
Yeah.
surface, that's what we went with. So that was a nice little attachment. And they're not that expensive. They're $10 on their website. So
Cheap.
yeah, so if you're getting some shelves and you want to add on a little grinding disc, see what you think of it, and then uh yeah, you can shop through and see what they got. Oh, they do have a 21-inch Ultra. I got the 20-inch Ultra shelf round. They do have a 21-inch Ultra. So I am on their
Um,
website now, looking through on kilnshelf.com if you want to see what's available. They got the top loading shelves, they got the Ultras on there, they got the rectangular ones for, more high fire or front loading kilns. They got the ones for the plug and fire on there, the 6 and 3/4 inch shelves. Lots to look at on there.
I was scared for a second. I thought that I might lose internet, but I don't think we're good. We might. I don't know.
Do you remember the jingle for Kiln Shelf?
Advance your life. Advance your kiln. Kilnshelf.com.
There we go.
It's not really a jingle, it's more of a statement, which I feel fits the brand, you
Yeah,
know?
it's very like matter of fact to the point. Here we go.
Yeah. And it
Here's what we're
also
about.
fits Malcolm too, and like everybody that works there, they're very like dry humor, and like
Yeah.
they're funny and super nice. Yeah.
Yeah. They were
We
nice
only
to
work
catch
with
up with.
people that are nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about what the topic is for today?
Yeah.
We are to that point.
We're there. We don't lose internet. Okay. So the topic is something that Ryan kind of alluded to a couple weeks ago. And he had mentioned that he was a little bit burned out, but he didn't want to admit it.
I don't believe I said burned out because I don't
You
know that
did.
I'll admit burned out.
You did. You did. I will find it.
Was this on recording or was this just me and you talking?
I don't know. I think it was on recording. Are you doing control find in the Zoom
No, I'm
thing?
not. I was just
Oh.
looking because after you kind of mentioned this for a topic situation, I was looking up some stuff about burnout with ChatGPT just to give me some ideas of
Oh
kind of what
yeah.
what the signs are or
If you can't afford a counselor, you have ChatGPT.
keys, the key signs of burnout, and then some. I was asking about difference between not being there versus being in denial, and what the difference is.
Ryan. Ryan Durbin. Ryan J. Durbin. In denial burnout.
No, I was just comparing, like, what's the difference here?
I love your
So,
effort.
okay, so what about it? What about specifically was kind of the framing that you were
Well, I
upset
kind
about?
of like, I don't want to say that I want you to burn out, but I have been waiting for this for 6 years.
I feel
So,
like I feel like Heidi has kind of alluded to this with discussion, not for me, but she's been alluding to I hit this point and then I change things after.
Yeah.
So we've heard it, and we've probably heard it from other people too, but uh I don't want to agree that it is inevitable. I don't know that it has to be inevitable.
No,
I
no,
think
no. I definitely don't think that burnout is inevitable, but I do think that it's a possibility, and there's definitely steps that you can take to avoid
oh
said
yeah,
burnout,
always a
you know?
possibility for sure.
And so I guess that I guess I want to let's talk about what you've been doing that maybe you're just like, ugh, I don't know. And then what like you can do to work on that so that it never gets to a point where it's like awful,
Hmm.
you know?
Okay. So I was looking at kind of
So,
the definition. Can we
yeah, let's
define it?
define it.
Okay, so this is ChatGPT. Just from a quick, what is burnout?
Yes.
Burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged and excessive stress, typically from work, caregiving, or other long-term responsibilities. It's more than just feeling tired or overwhelmed occasionally. Burnout builds over time and can deeply affect your well-being and performance. So that's a
So,
do
story of
we
my life.
do we agree with that?
We agree.
We agree with that definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, do we have another definition?
Not another definition. It's saying some key signs of burnout, common causes, effects,
Okay,
recovery.
what are the signs of burnout?
So there's three. It mentions emotional exhaustion. This is
Hmm.
feeling drained, overwhelmed, unable to cope. Number two is cynicism or detachment, and that involves losing interest in your work, feeling negative or indifferent, or distracting yourself from others.
Hmm.
And number three is reduced performance, struggling to stay productive, focused, or motivated even when tasks you used to manage easily. Even with tasks you used to manage easily. Okay.
Like loading the dishwasher or unloading the dishwasher, like those type of tasks.
Yeah, it feels
Um,
like yeah, feels like a mountain
yeah,
to climb or something like that.
right. Is there anything that talks about like solutions or the like
Well, it says common causes, effects, and recovery option, like in recovery
okay, what are the
recommendations.
recovery? Because I feel like a lot of people we're gonna talk about this and then they're gonna be like, I already went through a burnout. So tell chat GPTs, chatties, um,
The recovery
recoveries.
involved section. Okay.
Yeah.
So it mentions recovery involves rest and boundaries, taking real breaks, saying no, or reducing workloads.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is support, talking to trusted people or a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, reconnection, rediscovering meaning in your work or life. And number four, lifestyle shifts. That could be sleep, nutrition, exercise, hobbies, and time off.
Right.
So that's kind of the
Perfect.
short and simple.
Okay, so Ryan, what I'm not going to say burnout. I'm not going to say that you are burnt out, but I do feel like over the past year, I've been seeing you get more tired and kind of like definitely not sluggish, but a little less interested in doing certain things. And
You
let's
physically
diagnose
see
you.
me or just in the interactions we've had?
Like in the
Or,
interactions. Like, yeah, like kind of like an
okay.
emotional, like you're mentally tired towards things, you know?
Hmm.
How do you feel about like what are you scared
I
about,
I think I
Ryan?
can relate to that in some ways for sure. I think at times I was kind of thinking about this recently. I was talking to somebody else about it. I think I have such a high standard for myself of
Uh-huh.
what I want to do and the amount of like attention to certain details that I expect for myself when I'm doing certain tasks. And
Yeah.
I can get short with others because I hold them to that high standard as well. I generally
Oh
hold
yeah.
most people to the same standard that I hold to myself. As
Yeah.
whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I think I try to keep others around me, um, at a certain level. And it doesn't mean that I'm always at that level necessarily, but I strive toward it. And I can get impatient with people. I can get, this is what I want done. And, a lot of times I would prefer that you just like, in some ways, either you've done it before, so I expect that you know what needs to be done, and like
Right.
don't come to me to ask questions because you know what you need to do.
Right.
So I can almost feel irritated or bothered if people ask me stupid questions because I'm like,
Right.
can't you just take care of this? Like I
Yeah.
I asked you to, whether it's I'm asking you to do it or I want you to do it, um, because it's something that whether it's like Rachel and I or something like that, where it's,
Yeah.
you want to do something, but I want you to do it solo so that you don't rely on my time to take away from
Right.
something that I want to be doing. So I guess in that aspect, um, yeah, I don't want additional things added to my plate that take away time from other things that I already have on a full plate.
Yeah.
And
What would
I can become impatient.
indeed. The Carlos comes out.
Hmm.
The um but Carlos isn't impatient all the time. But but he does sound like his dad when he gets angry.
Hmm.
Um
But I can also
uh
be pretty patient with people and give them a lot of chances as well.
oh
So so
for
there's a
sure.
balance there, but in fairly insignificant situations, I can get impatient with
Yeah.
things that are just kind of like a why are you bothering me with this kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like I can't be bothered with this. Can't you
Yeah.
figure it out? Is kind of the blunt way. I don't tend to do that, but I'm kind of like, I can give examples if you need me to,
No, we don't need examples. We don't need to call anybody out.
but yeah,
Um,
I mean, that's an example.
yeah, I wonder if you have like obviously beep, obviously you have like it what is your has your priority list of like important things shifted over the years? Because like I mean obviously pottery's somewhere in the top of that priority list, and I would assume that Rachel's at the priority top of the priority list,
Hmm.
right? Um, but I'm wondering if the like if your work has shifted down or up, like your day job has
My day
shifted.
job.
'Cause like I
It
wonder if oh go on.
In the last year, it's not, I wouldn't say that there's more pressure on me at my day job in the last year. If anything, I've probably got more, well, I don't know. At times it could shift.
Yeah.
Um, but comparing it to 3 to 5 years ago when I was in a different role,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm less stressed now than I was then because I have more
Okay.
freedom, have more flexibility. They trust me. Like I don't generally have a day-to-day day job stress.
Yeah.
I don't the level is lower in my opinion.
Okay. What do you think the priorities of your life is? Like the top five of things that you want to get done, need to get done, and or need to pay attention to, and people.
Five seems like a lot, but
Or I mean, you could do top three, I guess. But that's really just Rachel, your job in pottery.
yeah, pretty much. I mean these days I would probably consider like taking seriously Rachel Pottery day job is probably that order of operations.
Yeah.
And I generally, and this may seem callous or whatever, like I don't generally keep in touch with my parents on a daily basis, a weekly basis. Like
Right.
I kind of don't engage with a lot of people on a regular basis.
Right.
And I don't know if that, I think people have different relationships with their family. It doesn't mean it's a bad relationship. It's just that that's how I tend to communicate. It doesn't mean that it goes both ways, that they would like me to communicate more.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times I'm pretty, and maybe it's just I tell myself that I'm busy and I want to focus on my thing. Some of that's
Yeah.
probably has to do with growing up being an adult and,
Well, yeah.
setting your boundaries of what do I want to accomplish on my own? What do I want to get advice
Right.
on? What do I need support on? What do I want support on? And I mean, how engaged do I want to be with siblings and friends and all of that kind of thing? And you kind of find those, but a lot of
Yeah.
times I will have to be asked to, uh, I mean, we'll go to like family events and things like that, but
Right, right,
I
right.
would have to be asked, hey, can you come here for this? Or are you interested in doing this? And then I can see if it fits in the calendar. And usually the pottery calendar is more filled than our personal travel
Yeah.
calendar and all of that stuff. So that's usually I'm not gonna cancel shows because I've got to go to a family birthday party or something like that. It's just
Right. Yeah.
that's just kind of the way it works. If the calendar is if the date's not on the calendar early enough before I apply for shows, then it's just a roll the dice whether I'm going to be available or not.
Yeah. Do you think that um oh shit. I had that question right there. It was a good one too. Uh well, I what I will say is that I've noticed that in the past couple of weeks, like I've had like shifting priorities. Like I've been traveling a lot more, like around places, and I've just kind of like put pottery at the back. I remember the question now. Put pottery at the back, and it kind of makes me feel shitty because I'm like, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting it done.
Mhm.
And but at the same time, I know it's good because the more time I take away from pottery, the more I like it when I come back to it. And like, do you
Mhm.
feel like when you went on your vacation for your anniversary, when you came back, it was like better? Like, did you feel like refreshed, or was it like a different feeling?
Yeah, I think when I'm gone, I feel like I get this more when I'm at shows and I get that itch to want to be making stuff when I get back because
Yeah,
I'm on that high of
yeah, you
selling
get
and the
excited. Yeah,
selling makes me want to make more. I'm trying to think if there was some differences with the vacation. I did have some ideas flowing
yeah,
and that was kind of a little bit hungover from the soda workshop that I did right before we left as well. But
yeah.
I don't know that I was dreading getting back and saying, "Oh, well, I get back to um a full list and it was like grueling to get back in the studio." I think the getting back to the day job schedule and adjusted to that and the what are we going to eat for dinner situation? What are we going to what do we have on the calendar for this week? What do we need to get done? Um but I don't think I was dreading getting back to the studio.
Were you excited?
I think I was like evenly
Even keeled.
in the middle. I don't know that I was like because I was in the studio a couple days in
Yeah,
Honolulu, so I did get a
yeah.
little fix there. But generally, when I'm getting back into it, I mean, I was pretty happy with the status of the studio with uh Erica was here and Ashley was here.
Mm-hmm.
Erica cleaned the entire studio. That was one of the priorities that we had while I was gone was to move everything out, mop it, fully deep clean it so it was clean when I got back, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And the damp box was filled with underglazed pieces that Erica got done. I haven't touched them since we got, or I touched maybe 12 or so. I carved a few of them since we got back, but it's nice to feel like the studio doesn't completely stop
Mm-hmm.
when I'm gone. And it was kind of nice getting back and packing the orders that came in throughout the 2 weeks we were gone. That does feel good. It feels satisfying to pack the orders that have been sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
and get him out the door. And it feels like, okay, like we're back in it. Like we're moving. So I would
Yeah.
say I was excited. If anything, I was like a little bit above the middle keel because of the now
Hmm.
I'm thinking to the packing the orders and all of that.
Yeah. Do you take like a normal break? Like, I probably know this answer, but I'm still gonna ask it anyway. Like, during the week, is there like a day that you take to have rest?
The entire day.
Yeah. Like, not to do pottery and not to do your day job.
Generally, no. I'm doing something pottery related at some point throughout every day.
And if you don't, in
It
like,
doesn't
let's
mean I
say,
have hands in pottery. It could be that
like doing
I'm
podcast
I'm
stuff or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, doing a podcast or I'm unloading a kiln. But there's rarely a day if I just have a open 6 hours or 8 hours in a day that I'm gonna dedicate to say I am not doing pottery anytime this day because I don't have that many days that are like that. But
Hmm.
also a couple days ago, what was it? Was that Monday?
When the carpet got removed?
I was gonna say Monday. I think it was Monday. Okay, so Monday, I Erica was in the studio, but I sanded some stuff for the soda from the soda kiln. Erica was finishing some of that up, so I did that for like an hour, and then we made dinner, and then I ended up sitting on the couch and was like watching tennis and actually fell asleep for an hour or two, uh, on Monday. So,
Yeah.
but that's about to the extent. So I only technically like quote unquote worked on something
Yeah.
for an hour and then was talking to Erica a little bit. But
Yeah.
I don't say this is my day off where I don't do anything pottery.
Do you think if you took a day off, it would make you feel worse? Like it would make you feel guilty?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Why?
Hmm. I think my immediate answer in my head was whatever I'm choosing to do. And I know the rest is important. My quick answer is that whatever I'm gonna do that is not doing pottery, even if I do like the slightest thing of computer work or something that's pottery related, like, is it going to be more important? But I mean, I see the balance of it too, of like, yeah, the rest does you better on the days that you're actively doing. Like, if you don't have a day of rest, then you're not gonna work at your best, um, your most efficient or your most like your
I
battery's
really
not
like,
recharged.
I think we should keep the rhyme in there. If you don't have a day of rest, you're not going to work your best.
Mm.
Oh, well, and I think that that's like, um,
I mean, if
for
I have a
con,
free Sunday, I'm definitely going to be sleeping until like 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, that's
yeah,
not uncommon for me to do. But I don't have a lot of weekends like that these days because our weekends are pretty
right.
full with
Yeah.
show season or workshops or whatever
I,
you,
th
whatever it is.
yeah, I think that like, and I know, well, I know that you had mentioned that you weren't on, like, you didn't want to go on social media as much and like post as much. I think that's what we were talking about when you said you were kind of burned out. I think you maybe said you were like specific towards social media, you know,
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely lost
drive.
that drive and the which I think is fine. I think when priorities shift, there's certain things that have to fall off. And if
Mhm.
social media falls off, like, who's that hurting? I mean,
Right.
generally, I think we
Literally
spend too much
nobody.
time on our phones anyway, so less
Yeah.
social media is probably better for us. And, if anything, I'm not getting as many marketing points on the board during these weeks because I'm not posting as much. But in reality, me not posting as much is probably posting more than a lot of people post on a regular basis. So,
Right.
you kind of, I think it ebbs and flows. It's fine to ebb and flow. And then you find the balance of but I don't feel like ooh, I have to drag myself to post.
Yeah.
But keeping it relatively, yeah, keeping it fun enough where I want to post the things that I want to post. But I think I don't want to spend my time when I'm on my desk at my desk working all day, 8 hours on the computer, and I get time in the studio or whatever. I don't want to spend an hour on my phone creating content of videos or 2 hours or whatever producing content that I want to post.
Hmm.
I think that's just a shift in priorities for me at the time. I don't want to spend my time doing that. And if that means that I have subpar content, that's just a trade-off I'm willing to make.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that well, obviously my context was a lot different than yours as far as burning out. I was doing full-time studio and, just working that whole time. And I think that it's something that you don't realize until, we as human beings never think that there's enough time in the day. If you're a workaholic, right? You never feel like there's enough time in the day and nothing, and it won't get done, right? It won't get done if I
Hmm.
don't do it now. It will like come off and it just won't get done. And I think it took me probably a year to 2 years to get to be okay with just not doing anything for a hot minute, you know? It's funny because oh yeah, I was gonna tell you uh I finally got officially diagnosed with ADHD in my adult life. I was diagnosed when I was 6.
Hmm.
And the only question that I equivocally failed at was, is it hard for you to rest? Like to wind down? I was like, oh no. Like, no, immediate. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. Like,
Is that kind of is it hard for you to go to sleep at night or is it hard for you to take breaks? Is that kind of or is it
I think
both?
it's more, is it hard for you to just like sit down and rewind and just kind of like just
Take
sit,
time
be
to sit.
still? Yeah, like I wouldn't say go as far as saying meditate, but like, could you sit on a couch and read a book or just like do nothing, you know? And I've had to learn how to do that because of my past. And once that happened, it's kind of like the reverse, right? Once it happened, it kind of like I started working too much, and then I was like, I would like to work as little as possible
Hmm.
because resting sounds great. And but it's really scary to give yourself time. And I'm obviously not a therapist, but I think that Heidi and I and yep, that's it. Me and Heidi um are very pro rest, and mostly because both of us have been through that kind of a a fall, if you will, like a pretty significant fall. But but yeah, I mean,
It sounds like a turning point whenever I hear people talk about it. It sounds like this thing happened, and maybe it's not a date on a calendar kind of
yeah, it's
thing,
not a line.
but it sounds like the stories are told, and then I burned out. I realized I had to make a change, and then I drastically shifted.
Yeah.
And
And, and
and
what
I'm scared of that shift, but
yeah, scared of the burnout.
I'm not scared. I don't know that I'm scared of the burnout. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what that point is because I
Mm,
think we can always push ourselves to do a little bit more. And we don't
mm.
know where that line's going to be. What's the tipping point? What are going to be the signs when the tipping point happens or when it
I
starts to tip?
when I knew
I think we all have different things.
when I knew that I burned out, it was during COVID, and there was like 2 weeks that I couldn't work. Right? I couldn't like, or I had to work really hard to make money, but I didn't see anybody. I was basically alone. I was house sitting for a friend, And I think I was binging some show. But I was sitting in my car and I realized that I was so much happier sitting and not doing anything than I was when I was in my studio and working and
Mm-hmm.
making stuff. And it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I need a break. It was like, holy shit, I hate that. It was like that drastic, right?
Right.
And and I don't think that comes to everybody, but I do think that people like I consider myself like us, me 3 years ago, 4 years ago. People like us, when we work so hard, we never have time to stop and evaluate how we're doing. So, and like I have another friend that doesn't take a lot of breaks as well, but maybe once a quarter she'll go with her husband to an Airbnb and just have a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
just to like stop and reflect on what's going on and like how like you feel about the studio or anything like that. And I think that that might be a good like alternative to somebody like a workaholic type like you, like how I used to be, is to like intentionally take like 3 days
Mm-hmm.
to do nothing, to like really reflect, like put the phone on the side of the bed and to like think about what or like go for a drive,
Mm-hmm.
and think about like what you actually want and what you're doing because you feel guilty for what your goal is, and also like making making a goal too. I think that's a good step too, you know. Like I mean you have goals all the time, right? Like you're like a goal freak kind
Right,
of.
but generally the goals are, do a little bit better than what I did last year. If it's business, it might be do 5% better at sales and,
Yeah.
high level things, but
Yeah.
it's not as,
Like
it's
mentally
not like
focused.
mental focus things like,
Yeah.
t you know, because a lot of the things I'm talking about for the goals are measurable. If you say
Right.
be in a better mental state, like what the fuck does that even mean?
Right.
That's not measurable. If you
Yeah.
feel, I mean, you could feel better, and it could be a number of different things. It could be I've been outside and like walking more, or I've been eating breakfast regularly and
Yeah.
making dinners, and like could be a number of different things. But you
Do
know,
you think Oh,
I would,
sorry.
I was kind of like thinking of some of the things that it was talking about, like performance or um like not doing as well at your general performance of what you've been doing or
Mm-hmm.
schedule. Like I don't think my schedule has drastically changed from what it historically has. I mean, maybe my days are more filled, but I don't know that I don't know that I've dropped off in certain areas necessarily.
No, but you've gotten older. Your
Yeah.
schedule has stayed the same, but you have changed. Like you yourself has changed. Something has to change, right? Like you can't stay stagnant all the time, right? Like your body and your mind might, I'm not saying this is true, but it might be getting tired, right? Of the same schedule that you've been having for 6 years. That schedule may need to shift in order for your brain to shift back down or what have you, right? Maybe you need
Wouldn't
it.
wouldn't the schedule be more reliable? Wouldn't the brain be less strained because the schedule is so consistent?
What if the schedule started out as too much?
And I've found a way to cope with it for 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, like it. Okay,
So what would be a drastic change? It would be you take 1 day a week and you don't do anything.
I don't think you need. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about drastic changes. We're talking about Ryan J. Durbin here.
That
Um.
doesn't sound drastic. 1 day a week.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, I
I mean,
do
it
think
sounds, I mean, relatively drastic. I mean, one
for
entire
you it's
day.
drastic. I was thinking more like 4 hours, but um,
Well, 1 day, like quote unquote, I mean, it could be a weekday. It could be, you still
yeah,
have to do your regular stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, I think it could, I mean, it could be something different too, where it's like, um, Rachel and I kind of joked about this, but the one thing we hate the scheduling of this, but like doing a bowling league together or something. But the
Oh
commitment
yeah.
is like 35 weeks. It's like, what the fuck? Don't you have like a 15-week commitment? Like, what the hell? Who can
Who
commit to
did
2/3 of a year to do this thing the
you?
same day every single week? Like, what the fuck?
Retired people, that too.
I mean, what the hell? Or
Yeah.
like getting into a new hobby like pickleball or something or whatever. I
Please
don't
don't
know.
get into pickleball.
I
Um,
want to play tennis, but I don't know how to like I've never really played it. And I don't know how to find people. I get like sponsored ads of like, hey, go find
what
people
about
to do this.
racquetball?
I played racquetball in college a little bit, but then I played some really good people and I got my ass kicked, so it wasn't as enjoyable. I played against some frat bros in like a racquetball little tournament thing, and I was just playing for fun with people I worked with, and they were kind of like at similar skill level or like not as good. And I was like the
Hmm.
generally the like more athletic one in that group. And then I played some frat dudes and I got my ass kicked. So it was it was not as fun.
I did that once with pool billiards. I was at a bar
Oh,
and
fucking love
like
playing
I
billiards.
won like 3 games in a row, and then the last person I played was a pool shark. And I
Oh,
was like, oh fuck.
I play like darts. I feel like a dart league would be fun. I like playing darts.
I just think, and I say this because I love you. I don't want to see you get burned out because you are such an inspiration to so many different people, and like the amount of work that you've put in is so admirable. It doesn't, but can you
What
please
does that point
tell?
look like for you? Realistically thinking, if you, because you obviously you've been around me for years, so you kind of know,
Yeah.
like, what does actual burnout Ryan look like down the road if shifts are not made? What do you realistically see?
Wait, before we start with that, we should talk about the ceramic shop,
Our newest sponsor.
our newest sponsor. And to start off this ad, I would like to share a submission by Isaac Schuster.
He said we need
And
to spice up our ad a little bit. We're one ad in and he's already critiquing us. What the hell,
yeah,
Isaac? Come on.
one ad in.
I think
And
he wants to be in here,
this
and he will
is
be.
Hey, Macklemore, you want to go ceramic shopping? What, 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 what? Dibby-doo, 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 bow. Dibby-doo, 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 bow. Dibby-doo, 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 bow. Dibby-doo, 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 boo. I'm gonna buy some wax. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting. I'm looking for a discount. This store's fucking awesome.
Isaac P. Shoe.
Isaac P. Schuster. Oh my God. It might have to, we'll have to, I think that what we're gonna do is I will make a jingle that is not like Isaac's but similar. And then we'll use the other jingle, and then Ceramic Shop can tell us which one they like better. They should have an employee vote.
A vote on the ceramic shop, which is a spoof on thrift shop from Macklemore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, um, we were just looking at their website today, and they've got some pretty cool new products and some like existing products that are still cool.
Hmm.
Um, they have Engobes by Colorabia. That's right, right? Colorabia.
Colorabia.
Colorabia. Um, and they are a like a pigmented stain slip type thing. It's not an underglaze. It's more of like a clay-based stain. And you can put it on
You could put it on
bisque.
bisqueware, greenware, wet clay, ideal for one-stroke painting. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
so
like watercolor effect. You can
yeah.
layer it if you want thicker coverage.
Mm-hmm. And it is for low fire, which I feel like we don't actually mention a lot of low fire products. And there are a number of people that do low fire work.
Hmm.
And something that you could probably, I don't know if you could do this, so I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to try it, you could potentially downfire with that and paint it on like raw clay at when it's fully, cooked, and then downfire it back to 06. That's a
Oh,
potential. I don't know if it works. So if somebody wants to test it out and try it, they
because that's
should.
kind of what you were doing with some underglazes in the past. You've
I
done
was doing that
that.
with stroke and coats. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
the fired pieces are going to cone '06 is what they recommend for these
yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then Ryan, tell them what the other stuff is.
Also, we found out that Ngobi is
Oh
the
yeah.
plural of Ngob.
Engobe is the
In
singular.
Ngobi, so like Engobbi. Because I was like, what is that? That's the plural form. So instead of you don't say Ngobes, you say Ngobi.
Yeah.
We have an
My bad.
yeah. So Ngobi. And the other products that they were fairly new is the Amico crawl glazes. So these are cone 5 6. The one thing I like about the Amico glazes, they've got the little prefixes. That's pretty nice. It's nice to be able to tell which glaze you are looking for because they all have the little two-letter prefix or one-letter prefix for them. So these are the
Oh yeah.
CR prefix, the crawl, and they kind of look like that like beads on a on a window. You know, when you got
Gloop glazes. They
the
look like
gloop
gloop
glazes. Yeah.
glazes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got a number of them. They got some different variety of different colors. The lime crawl looks cool. You got some purple. They got some that look like they're more like speckled flux crawl. Hmm. And they are 20% off right now. So that's the Amico crawl cone
Will they
five
be
six
20%
glazes.
off when this comes out? That's the question.
Hmm. Maybe. If they're not
Hopefully.
20% off, they can still use our code and save some money.
What?
Yeah.
What's our code, Ryan?
Our code is Wheel Talk 10, capital W, lowercase t, 10, the number 10.
The number 10.
Wheel Talk 10. Look in our description. We got it down there. Go to theceramicshop.com and then put in Wheel Talk 10 at checkout. If you spend 75 bucks, you're going to save 10 bucks off of that. And yeah, thanks Ceramic Shop for joining us. Give them support. Tag us if
It's
you get something and
yeah.
tag them. We'd love to see what you get.
What's funny is that somebody messaged me and was like, "Gosh, I needed that discount code last week." And we had like just gotten it. It was fresh. Um yeah, so here I'm gonna do both of my jingles that we've decided on. But it might be rough. The second one might be rough. So the first one is, what is the first one?
The one that I already have on here written down that you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. Hold it up to the
It's a
camera.
one-stop shop.
Shop.
Uh,
TheCeramicShop.com. Okay, that's the first jingle. And then the second jingle is um the Macklemore jingle, which is okay. I'm gonna shop some glaze. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm gonna wait. I'm
gonna.
gonna make a stunner. The ceramic shop is awesome.
There we go. There we go.
But
Okay, now
I
you just got to
personally,
write that down to remember it. remember it
Yeah.
again so we don't get stuck.
Yeah, exactly. I should write that down right now. But yeah, so I think that the short one's gonna stick, even though Isaac's is very funny and clever. It's not as short. So
Yeah, thanks Isaac for adding that in there too. That we
yeah.
appreciate that.
That was a great addition to our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Give him
He's never
credit.
gonna voice text me ever again. I was like, I'm putting that on the podcast. He's like, you asshole.
You should have put the disappearing or something. I don't know. You could probably do that with voice notes
Oh
before people
no,
can
I
keep
took a
it.
video of it.
Oh yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
he
I took
needs
a
to
video
make
of
it
it.
disappearing so once you listen to it, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So the ceramic shop, welcome. Give them support. Tag us if you get something. And
Yeah. They
yeah,
sell they sell a lot of our other sponsors too. Like they sell Speedball and they sell L&L. I don't
yeah, they
know if
got
they sell
all kinds
Advancer,
of.
but
I don't think they sell Advancer, but you can
yeah.
get, you can get all these products. A lot of them are on sale. Go through there and look and see what's on sale. We kind of mentioned last week some of the speedball glazes are on sale, the kilns are on sale, the plug and fire. So get in
Yeah.
there and see what you can get.
Go get them.
All right. Do you remember my question before we took a break?
Yes, I do. And your question was, how I see what is going to happen to you
Mm-hmm.
when you burn out. But first, I would like for you to explain to the club what your current schedule is.
On a daily basis or like a weekly or what?
Like an average. Yeah, like average. If you're in the studio, when are you in the studio till? And how long do you work? And then weekends, if you're not at a show, what that looks like. Ish.
Mm, if I'm not at a show. Very few and far between these days.
I know, but let's think about like winter.
Okay. So let's see. Pretty much I'll start with getting up. Get going, 8:30, start at work at 9. Maybe I'll get up at 9. It just depends on the day. Sometimes I'm
Hmm.
not jumping out of bed.
You're in tech. It's fine.
Yeah, 8:39. Get going, all that stuff, lunch, go to the post office midday, 2 o'clock, walk the packages, orders to the post office after Rachel's packed them up, get lunch, 3 o'clock, something like that. Done with the workday 5. Usually, depending on the day, I'm kind of taking it easy a little bit for about an hour after 5 o'clock before Erica gets here at 6,
Hmm.
whether I'm working late or kind of getting a little snack or something. Erica's here 6 to 10. For the most part, I will work a little bit in the studio when she's here. Kind of depends on what I need to get done. This week when she was here, I mentioned I was grinding some soda pots, so I could be standing, I could be throwing for an hour or two.
Hmm.
Rachel and I'll make some dinner.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, about 8. We used to start at about 8, so 8 o'clock to 9 or 9:30. We're kind of eating dinner, making dinner, done with
I
about
feel like
9:30.
that also has been a good thing that you guys have definitely done is
We
taking
actually,
that time.
but we stopped doing it in the last few months, a couple like month. So
Maybe that's why
that's been
you bitch.
a little tougher. So you'll have
Yeah.
to tell Rachel that. So after that, I'll usually go back to the studio a little bit. Obviously, it depends on what I got to do, but it could be carving a few things. It could be loading a bisque kiln.
Hmm.
Maybe usually it's a short stint of doing something. So it might be handling 15 to 20 things. Usually I'm not throwing that late.
Hmm.
Try to do something that's a little less like messy generally. And then I'll kind of wrap up about midnight.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I'll make sure to get my push-ups in for the day.
Right.
Get my 150 push-ups in. Get
Your half
upstairs,
push-ups.
my half push-ups. Jody called them basketball push-ups. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know.
But yeah, get the push-ups in.
Jody would know since he's a professional basketball player.
That's true. Steph's been around a quarter too. Um, and get to sleep about one, probably about one. Tuesday we'll be doing pretty much the same thing. Podcast maybe on a Tuesday. We did this
Yeah.
week. So we'll do a
Yeah.
podcast for a couple hours till 7:38.
And you work after.
I will, yeah, usually we'll eat dinner. Maybe we'll say Rachel made dinner. We'll eat for half an hour. But yeah, it might work for a couple hours in the studio. Um, and then kind of do the same thing Wednesday. Usually we're not podcasting twice in a week, but
Yeah, this has been rough on the
right. And
rain.
so like this week, for instance, we got the shows this weekend. So I was pricing work. I was
Yeah.
packing boxes. I don't know, like that kind of stuff doesn't feel like that's different than throwing for me. Like pricing
Yeah.
pots and packing boxes and
I
getting
agree.
organized
Yeah.
is way different. I mean, that's most of what my focus is this week. Like on my list for today is to pack the car up and to finish packing
Mm-hmm.
my boxes and price the last bits before they go in there. So like I wouldn't say that's common, but it's not grueling. Like I would
Yeah.
say throwing is grueling, but it's not as
Monotonous.
yeah, it's not as physically taxing, I don't think. And then Eric will be back in the studio Thursday. I'll be in and out a little bit. This week I'm going to be going down to the show, so I'll be setting up
Yeah.
for the show on Thursday. Um Friday, we'll say Thursday, Friday, the same thing. And then Friday night, I'm always doing the podcast at night, usually like between 10 and midnight. I'll be doing the podcast, getting it ready for Saturday.
You don't say.
And depending on if I have a show or not, depending on if I have a show or not, I gotta pack the car up or make sure that I'm ready. That does get kind of challenging. I do rarely will I get it done that is not Friday night at 10 o'clock or later. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
to be fair, I think that I should point out that Becca typically gets, okay, this is not always true, but sometimes I get it done on Thursday. Most of the time I get it done on Friday, like before like 6 o'clock. And unless I forget, which
right.
is
And then
has
I'm just
happened.
getting off work at 6, so I'm like ready to get away from the computer.
Yeah. So
Uh,
he's like ready to get away. And then I get a text at midnight saying, "Hey, you messed up."
you mess up like once every like 2 or 3 months. It's not that
No,
often.
it's not that often. It just makes me laugh when it happens. Thankfully, you have grace, I have grace. We just fix it in the morning.
Yeah, it's not
But
like you have to get up and fix this right now.
yeah.
But I would say that's generally my schedule. I didn't really talk about weekends here, but if I don't have a show, I will sleep in for sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
could also be up pretty late, so I might be up till 2 o'clock on a Friday if I don't have a show the next day. Get to bed, probably get up at like 10 or 11 in the morning the next day. And
Yeah.
then I feel like I don't pack my schedule as much on the weekend
On
though.
the weekends, it's
When
pretty
I've
loose.
got I mean I got that freedom to like, on Sundays I typically like make bacon and eggs,
Yeah.
have like a breakfast even if it's at noon, and I'll get going. I might go to I'll typically go to the studio and throw a little bit. But I'm generally not using those weekend days that's free of like, oh, that means I'm gonna go golf or something.
Yeah.
Whereas in years past, I might have done that. But I don't know. Stuff like that, like going golfing is so dependent on the weather. And if I do it too last minute, then I'm just going to be waiting on the course a bunch because there's so many people on the course that
Yeah.
it's not as enjoyable. So you almost have to go on a weeknight where it's not as busy instead of going on a high traffic day that a lot of people are out there.
Is that something that you would like to do?
I wouldn't mind it. Like I mentioned the
What?
pickleball or tennis thing. I wouldn't mind like
Yeah,
trying that sometime, but I gotta find somebody to play with. Because Rachel's not, I mean, Rachel might play pickleball with me or something, but
yeah.
probably not. Like I want a little, I don't want to feel like I'm like forcing her to play because I feel like I take it fairly seriously because I want to like compete and have fun. But if I just play with somebody that doesn't want to be there, then it's not going to be as enjoyable for
What
either
if
of
you
us.
found like a league or something, like a pickleball club that's like every Wednesday or whatever?
Well, I've never played it before, so I don't know that I want to commit to a league. I just want to play. So we have some friends that have
I mean,
played
not a
before.
league, but there might be something where you could like go and everybody just plays pickleball on
Uh,
Wednesday nights. It's just like they drink beer and play pickleball, you know?
I could see myself doing that. I don't know that. I don't know. I think when I picture myself doing that, I see it fitting into the schedule when I don't have a day job. I don't know. I don't think I prioritize it enough that it's like I need to be doing that right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't mean it wouldn't have its benefits of doing it now while I have a very full schedule to say I'm going to dedicate this day off
Yeah,
to do this
because
very physically taxing thing.
because I know you and I know that if I was like Ryan, every Wednesday you have to do absolutely fucking nothing. You'd be like, fuck you. I'm not doing that. Like, that's never gonna work, you know? But if you
Yep.
pick something that you were like committed to, like maybe it was, I don't know.
Oh yeah, if it was a golf league that was every Wednesday and I had to be there because people expected me
Yeah.
and I'm paying for it. If I don't show up, then that's just money down the drain.
Yeah, and then
I
that
would
like
show
gives
up and I would
you,
do it.
and not only does that give you fellowship and like talking about stuff that isn't pottery,
Hmm.
you know, it gives you a break. It gives you exercise. It gives you like
It challenges me a little bit in different
yeah,
ways.
and outside. I think that that's probably, I mean, like I'm obviously not a fucking therapist, but I think that that is probably something that suits your lifestyle more than like me who would want to watch a movie, you know,
Hmm.
because that's
I
what I
would
like
be
to do.
like, I could just be in the studio and turn a movie
And
on.
watch the movie, yeah,
Yeah,
at the
just have
same
it on in
time.
the background.
Right. I think it's like it's almost like your walk to the post office. Like you have to like get out
hmm
and like
That'd be my dedicated day. You know how you said I have dedicated days for when I do things. It's like that's
yeah.
my Wednesday is
Yeah.
my golf day or whatever. My
Or whatever.
pickleball
Yeah,
day, whatever it
exactly.
is.
And I feel like, and yeah, that would be cool for you. And I don't necessarily think that it needs to be with Rachel either. Um, love Rachel. But like maybe you need some time, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, she works from home, I work from home, so we're around each other
Yeah,
every day.
yeah,
We see each
you're
other all the time,
all the time.
right?
Yeah. And also another thing that I thought of that would be good for you is, and I think everybody, I just thought of this, so it's in the works, obviously. But Ryan is a super checklist type person. And
Hmm.
you know how you were saying that it's really hard to quantify mental things? Like, am I mentally feeling better? I don't know.
Right.
Um, I think
Like
it'd
a
be cool to like make a list, kind of like the depression list that they give you at the doctor, like on a scale of 1 to 5, like how happy are you with like how guilty do you feel about taking a break? And you know, something like that.
like you
But
do it after you've taken the break or
well, do it like
just
once a quarter or something, just to kind of go back and see and like be honest with yourself to be like, "Oh shit, I don't want to go." Like on a scale of 1 to 5, how much are you do you dread going to the studio every night? You know, like if that starts to shift and if it starts to look like some more of a chore, then maybe you need to start reanalyzing and see what kind of like moved and how you can kind of readjust, you know?
hmm
Um Also, we've gone way over our time, but it's fine. Um,
Also, you asked me what it would look like if you burned out,
Hmm.
and I think that your burnout looks, obviously everybody's burnout looks different, but I don't think that you're able to like rest. I think that it actually mostly looks like you getting really grumpy. Like really grumpy. Like most of the time.
So I would get more grumpy.
Yeah. I think you get really, really grumpy. And
Have I shown more grump lately?
no, I don't think so, not necessarily. I'm talking like I'm talking like grumpy. Like and like you wouldn't be patient with me at all. Um
Has my patience with you changed over time? And this
uh
doesn't have to be like in the last month. This could be
no, like over
'cause I,
years, over the years. Yeah, a little, but not much. Not much. I think that more you know me better now, so it's a lot easier to be like, "Hey, I need you to do this," you
hmm
know? Or don't
and it
forget
can
this.
kind of seasonally ebb and flow a little bit too, I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Thankfully, you have a wife that has mental issues like I do, so like, I mean, like
Yeah,
not as bad.
as long as you don't mind me saying, "Hey, don't forget." I mean, sometimes I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything because it's her responsibility. She can figure it out. She knows she's got to get that podcast up by Friday. Like that's but if it
Yeah.
gets late, I'll be like, "Hey, don't forget about the podcast."
And sometimes I have
And you'd be
forgotten.
like, "Oh shit." I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Okay." Just because it's
Yeah.
in my routine to do it every
Yeah.
Friday at 10 o'clock and I have a reminder doesn't mean it comes as an because
Oh,
your schedule and your on the go changes on a
yeah.
weekly
And
basis.
P.S. I have a reminder. Um,
Yeah.
that
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
I say something to Rachel. I'm like, by the way, I got an order. Don't forget to pack it up. And then I walk downstairs and she's like, I forgot it immediately after you said it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I even talking for? But sometimes
Yeah.
you got to be like, did they hear me or did they like were they did that's a Rachel and I thing all the time with like, did you hear me? Did you acknowledge or do you were you listening or did you hear me kind of thing?
Right, because you don't want to like remind her 14 times and then her be like, I fucking know, okay?
Right.
Like you
Right.
don't want that to happen. With me, that's usually never the case. I have always forgotten. Um,
Yeah, because that's where sometimes I will get a little, and this isn't just a you thing. This is a,
yeah.
universally, it's like if I get a commitment from something of I'm gonna make sure to pack that up before then, and I got my plan
Mm-hmm.
to go eat and go do my walk at 2 o'clock. If it's 1:30 and you've already said that you're gonna do it yesterday or today, and you got a reminder,
Mm-hmm.
assume that there's something to be packed. And if it's not ready, I might get a little irritated because I expect it to be done. I
Yeah.
understand things are going to come up. Something is going to come up. Just like what,
Yeah.
um, doing stuff in the studio. Like I want certain things done when people come visit for working in the studio because I know that something will come up that's unexpected in the next 2 weeks or whatever. So we get it done ahead of time so that we don't stress when something does come up. And it's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
exactly. Yeah, I think that, and I mean, like, I know that I'm not an easy person to work with,
No,
you
this
know?
isn't for you. I was just saying
No, no,
that.
no,
That's the
no.
way
I
I
know
mentally
that.
think about
I know
planning
that. I
ahead
know
for
that.
stuff. Yeah.
And I was just saying that I know that I'm not an easy person to work with. So when somebody does remind me or something like that, I know it's coming from a place of like, hey, like, and I'm open about it too. So I know it's
Hmm.
coming from a place of, hey, I know you probably forgot. So like,
But also, I don't want to feel like I put it on them to say, I know you forgot, and it makes them feel worse that they forgot because that's
it
just
never
how they
makes
are,
me feel worse
you know?
because I usually forgot.
Right.
So,
So it's like coming to a period of like giving people grace of, and some of it is, like or volunteering for clay lines things. Like when
yeah,
somebody says they're going to do something and you expect them to do it
I hate
and they
that.
don't do it, then you're like I guess I got to do it.
Yeah,
And then you're like, well, it's all volunteers, so should I be upset with them? Or is it
right.
worth getting upset? Or, asking them or whatever it
Yeah.
is, we're all doing this volunteer. Am I taking this too seriously? Can I let some things go? Which I think I've let some Clay Alliance responsibilities go a little bit as I've determined what's priority. Just like I've let some of the social media stuff go a little bit. I got to figure out where to pick and choose where the priorities lie. And I can, do my best to delegate where I can. And I think I've assisted in that a little bit for the Clay Alliance for sure. Um, and you just figure out, but there's also a line of delegating with the understanding that it's not a guarantee that it's always going to be there. Just because it's been delegated and they've committed to doing it for that period of time doesn't mean they're committing to doing it forever. So
Yeah.
still being open to, hey, there's flexibility here. Let me know if this is too much, if this is not what you signed up for. I mean, I kind of feel that way a little bit with you and I. I mean, we share this together, so figuring out ways
Yeah.
for us to make it work to where it's not, hey, I know we signed up for this, but did we sign up for 10 years of this or did we sign up for this period of time and I drag you along for 5 years of it? So it's, we got to figure out where that balance is so that you can push back on me and I can push back on you and we can
I'm
balance it
like a
out.
kid on a leash, like in the
So
podcast.
I mean, I think that goes with in our daily lives all the time of where
Yeah.
those commitments lie, whether it's a partner and understanding where the commitments in the house have to be and with relationships and, who communicates with the family and who is,
Yeah.
the person that helps with the scheduling and making sure that we're, available or not available or responding to people in a timely manner or whatever it is, who's paying the bills, who's making sure that we are, going on trips and vacations and stuff. Like Rachel's taking care of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
We try to be conscious of, hey, let's like go to these comedy shows or these performances at the music hall or whatever. And we're building that in because I think all of those things consciously help for sure.
I agree.
And
Yeah,
building
and I
that
think
in
that
the date
that's
nights and all of that
I
helps.
think it's super good. Yeah, it's super good that you guys do that. And I don't think that your life is not I think it's balanced. Like I do think it's balanced. I just I've been worried for years that you'll come to a point where it's too much and I
What do
know
you
that
see me
you're
doing when it becomes too much? Is there a tipping point for me that you see? Like, is there going to be a big thing that drops off of
I
that
don't
I
know. I
decide?
don't know. I think that um you're very sensitive. You're a sensitive human being. And I say that in the most up like the best way that you can. Like Ryan like um you care, right? You care a lot. And I've seen you hit challenges and hit like things that didn't go your way and it's hard for you to get past it. Like mentally. Both of us are overthinkers. We both know this.
Mm-hmm.
And um I think that I have this weird like big little well, I guess I am your big sister because I am older than you, but like big sister protectiveness of you. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to fail because I'm not because you have I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think you've had a super big failure yet in your life and I don't want it to crush you. You know? Like and and that makes me and I'm like super protective. I want to be like, "No!"
Mm-hmm.
you know? And
Yeah.
cuz like big failures can really ruin you. And I don't think it would ruin you.
What's an example of
Um
a big failure?
or a big change too. Big failures and big changes. Uh Like, you remember when my booth fell over and everything
Mm-hmm.
broke?
Yeah.
I would say that that's a pretty big failure. Or, like, not necessarily, I don't think failure is the right word. It's more of like big life event that maybe
Mm-hmm.
didn't go well. you know?
Hmm.
And um
I like to think that I am very calculated in my risk taking and I've planned enough that I know that it's a possibility, but it's
yeah,
a slight enough possibility, like risk that I'm willing to take
for
that
sure.
I've thought of through. But also, like nature's going to be nature, so
Right,
you
you never
can't
know.
know what's
You
going to
never
happen.
know. And so I think I think that it's just like my human nature to be
Hmm.
worried and to like
Yeah,
want to make sure that you succeed or that maybe you don't fall, you know?
yeah.
And I think that you would take it with stride. And I mean like there's a reason that you still have your day job
Hmm.
and it's just like I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when I do, I mean, you mentioned the overthinking. I obviously do overthink a lot. I will think ahead of, what is the worst case scenario that could happen here
Yeah.
of getting into this situation. And then you kind of go back of, okay, well, what do I need to do to mitigate some of that risk so that I'm more comfortable with it? Or, draw back. Okay, maybe you don't make the decision as far to where that's as big. That's the worst case scenario. Maybe you kind of go somewhere in the middle. Or I've thought through like, okay, well, what if because being in my day job, I've been through like 6 or 7 layoffs. Like I'm totally content that someday I will be laid off from my job, and that's what's going to force me out of my job is to be laid off.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe that. Well, I don't know. Like it could change. I could get up the something would have to change in my day job, whether it's coworkers leaving, my manager leaving, or getting laid off, and that would be enough of a shakeup that I would be like, you know what, I need to just take the courage
Take the
and just
cut.
take the jump
Yeah.
because I I think I'm already ready, but I need something to shake the tree enough
To push you
to
out.
force
Yeah.
me to make that jump because
Yeah.
I don't because I'm gonna I mean maybe this is gonna be different once I make the decision of you know that
Well,
day,
maybe
like
you'll
what
have
was it
time
about that
off.
day, what was it about that day that made that change
Yeah. And
need to happen.
maybe once you do give up that day job, maybe you'll make more time to have time off, you know? Like maybe
Oh,
you'll
absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
I am I still going to push myself to the same extent because I know that my time to focus on pottery is finite throughout the week. Am I going to push myself the same? I like to think I will, but there will be free time built in because I'm not
Right.
dedicated to a
Yeah, but
desk
that
for
doesn't
eight
mean you need to
hours.
work. Yeah, it doesn't mean you need to
Yeah.
work 16 hours a day, you
Yeah,
know?
but I
Yeah,
can
you could work
substitute 4
10.
hours of those work days for
Yeah,
pottery and 4 hours to make breakfast and go on a walk or whatever.
and watch Bob's Burgers
Um,
finally.
yeah, maybe it's, going and being in a one of those leagues or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's like the changes like a booth falling down or whatever, losing all of my inventory, like let's say a shelving unit breaks or I mean, I don't like to think of like a life event like the house
Yeah,
burning
no.
down or something like that, but
No, we don't need to think about that.
the um like shelving units breaking and crashing and losing a bunch of work, like that's totally
Yeah.
a possibility.
Yeah. I think you would come through that with stride. You just work harder.
Um,
Uh,
or like an injury. I mean, totally injuries could
yeah.
happen. I could, break something and be like, okay, well, I can't make any work for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, what does that do for me? What can I
Yeah.
do to get through that?
Yeah. And I think also something that you have to think about too is a mental injury, you know? Like if something happens where your brain chemistry shifts and
Like a loss of a parent or something like that?
no, well, I mean, yes, but no. But yeah, like if something happens where you're like let's say you did actually get burned out, like how you're going to approach that, how you're going to handle that and you know, how you're going to push through that and or rest through that, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
like that can happen. And I think that we just need to be aware that it's out in the ether and it's in our environment.
It's a possibility. Is that?
Yeah, it's always a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this fucking economy. It's always a possibility. And we need to be prepared. And even if that means having a person that you're like, bruh, I'm struggling right now. Talk me through this. Or even if it means like what you used to do for me when you knew that I was having a rough day and just be like, "Hey, you want to call and work?"
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something like that, where you make somebody be your accountability buddy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and or like talk to them now and be like, "Hey, if I ever hit to this point, would you be willing to like, you know, throw with me for a while, every day or
Mm-hmm.
on these days?" And I think that that is the kind of support that we need, you know?
Yeah, and it's hard to quantify that the value of that
Yeah,
because it's so. Yeah, I think it becomes a habit of, this is the person you call once a week and you just have a standing call.
standing time.
And
Yeah,
you don't have an agenda for it necessarily. You just like, hey, we're gonna shoot the shit and hang out for an hour, even if you don't physically are close.
yeah,
Um, you can
yeah.
do that and it builds consistency and it also is, yeah, I mean, I think we all need, whether it's an individual or group or whatever, we need to find community of people that we can
That have your back.
that have your back and you can like talk to and feel like you can
Yeah.
have the
I
space
think,
because a lot of our interactions that we have on a regular basis are very shallow and there's not
yeah,
room, and especially if you do this in a big group, like there's not room to actually talk deep about anything.
yeah,
And you've got to balance out the talking. Like I don't want to talk too much and I want to give them space to talk and also hear what they have to say, but also like get through my thought
yeah,
without
for
getting,
sure.
boring them or getting, committing to a deeper conversation
You know
is
what's,
difficult.
yeah, it is, especially when you have somebody like me who always interrupts. Do you know what I was thinking about actually just a couple days ago? Um, was Rebecca Graves Prowse
Hmm.
and how she was exactly what I needed when I needed it. She, it was one of those like soulmate situations where like I had met her maybe, I don't know, 2 years prior, and then we were really good friends online, and then I went and visited
Because
again.
were you communicating digitally before you came and visited and met her in Indianapolis, or?
Yes. So I visited her twice, once while she was at the house, the carriage house, and once while she was in the apartment. And the second time when she was in the apartment, she had mentioned, you could come and work for me. Just like she was like, it'd be really cool.
Hmm.
And I don't know if she knew that I was just done. She probably did. And I've been meaning I was gonna message her and because I haven't talked to her in a minute, but we've both gotten busy, but I was gonna message her and be like, you were exactly what I needed in that time of life.
Mm.
And she like came in, she took me, she found me a place to live. She like,
Hmm.
she knew that I was broken. And you did too. Like we all knew I was fucking gone.
Hmm.
And so did Andrew. Andrew helped me on the other side. And like everything fell in line and she gave me a place to make money without thought. And that was so needed for me. Like I would have
Hmm.
never gotten through if it hadn't been for her. And yeah, so
You
anyway,
almost wonder if there needs to be something that I mean, obviously um the trajectory that I expect is that day job goes away, pottery is the full time. But it's like, is there a middle ground where, well, there's two ways to it. There could be going part time with the day job, like, is
Yeah.
that a possibility or whatever? Or there's something that draws my attention enough that do you want to do this part time that's like more enjoyable? That's
Yeah, like
like it gives
fun.
you an out of the full time commitment. And it's not about the pay necessarily, but it's enough pay that I feel safe enough of like I can rely on that.
Yeah, like if Carl worked at Home Depot.
I'm not gonna work at Home Depot, but
But that's the type of thing, right? Like he would be perfect at Home Depot. You
right.
know? He would love it. And like if you found something that was like, I don't know, something stupid that you didn't have to think about but you enjoyed,
Hmm.
just for like just so you can get out, but to give your brain a break, you know?
It was funny. There was a at the end of the street actually, there's a credit union up there. It said like part-time tellers wanted, and I was like, could I imagine myself? I always wanted to be a bank teller. Like, can we have part-time teller at the end of the street?
How fun.
Be a
You can
bank
walk to
teller.
work.
And you walk to work and you just talk to people about their whatever, do their business banking stuff, and you just like do that, and then you go home
Then you
and
go
you
home.
do your thing.
That's kind of what speedball is to me right now, you
Take
know?
the pressure off. Yeah, finding that
Yeah.
balance of like a part-time job that is like I was gonna say reasonable, but I don't know, something that but I don't know the mental lift of the, not being expected to do all of the things that like come with like a full-time job and responsibility and stuff like that.
Yeah, it takes time. I would say it takes approximately 5 months to release your care. Like today, I was looking at stuff and I have to kind of like remind myself, I'll be like, is this Becca quality or is this speedball quality or is this not okay?
Yeah,
Like,
you got to figure out what's worth it, what's not worth it, and like how much it's not your business at the end of the day, so you know
yeah,
you shouldn't put that weight on you to expect that you're gonna treat it like it's your
yeah,
business, and you're not getting paid like it's your business. So it's
yeah.
you're paid for the amount of care as well as the, am I fulfilling what I'm expected to do with good quality?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I am pretty strict regardless. Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
But yeah.
And
We're
the
oh,
the there was something I was thinking about for like if it would even make a difference of I feel like I've mentioned this. We got unlimited PTO at work, right?
yeah,
Taking a dedicated 2 weeks off that is not vacation time
yeah.
and just I kind of want, but
Just like a test drive. A test drive.
I was gonna use it to trial run the pottery situation and
I think you should.
and do it maybe in November this year.
What if you took a whole month? What if you took like a month sabbatical just to see? I mean,
I don't know, a
they
month
love
feels like a long
you.
time, but I think my manager would be willing to. But I was thinking about doing it and maybe bookending that 2 weeks with my holiday open studio sale. So I kind of got a feel of like,
Yeah,
what do I do? And whether it's like, oh, I'm gonna like soda fire this week or I'm gonna make work. You kind of figure it out and not do an out of town show and all that stuff, but just kind of try it out to see what it's like. And it's not going to be a true, it's not going to be exactly
no.
the same, but it'll give me a taste of what it could be like.
And what a blessing to be able to have that, you
Right.
know?
That's not available most places. So,
Right, exactly.
yeah, I think approaching that is something I would like to commit to.
And maybe, I mean, like, I'm not saying it will, but like maybe that's the push you need. Maybe it's the push maybe it's not the push you need. But like maybe after that month you're like, "Oh shit, that was really enjoyable and I enjoyed that." You know?
Hmm. Right.
You know?
Well, actually, like getting back from vacation, I thought there was going to be a lot more work that I was coming back to, and it was just going to be like go, 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 go from the day job.
Yeah.
But it was like an ease. There's nothing that was like super pressing,
Yeah.
and I was given kind of grace to. take my time getting back to stuff. Like there's nothing that urgent. So I think
Yeah.
we kind of get bogged down, and especially when you work with other people and other people's emergencies become your emergencies and you
Yeah.
feel rush, but in reality, it's an emergency for them because they weren't thinking ahead of time. They could have
Yeah.
told you about this like 4 weeks ago and it would have been no problem. But
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't do that. So, so I'm thinking about that. Maybe 2 weeks is not even enough. Maybe a 3 week. Maybe I'll meet in the middle. Maybe I'll do a three week
Yeah. 3 week. Yeah.
and see how that goes and talk to my manager about it and let him know. I mean, she knows what's up. She knows that
She
she's
knows you're phasing out.
she knows that I'm phasing out and I've probably given her more time than she expected because
Yeah.
actually October of last year, not
Yeah.
23, I mentioned that I was like, because every time we go to this conference once a year, we see each other once a year in person,
Yeah.
and every time we get there the next year, somebody on the team is gone. Somebody on the team is no longer, whether they got a new job or they changed positions or whatever. Like the team is not always the same. So I can assume that something is going to change. And I was getting ahead of it and saying, you know what? I'm getting to that period. There's a chance that I could not be here next year. And I was kind of like planting the seeds of just in case this is the last time we see each other in person all together. I want you to know
Yeah.
that because I don't want it to be a shock.
Yeah.
And I mean, it kind of put a little poo poo on the rest of the week, sort of, but they were kind of joking with me and like whatever. But it was kind of like
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been in situations like that where you expect like, oh, I really enjoy this time, and then it's different because you're never gonna have that same group. It feels like teams do that all
Yep.
the time. Like these teams are never together in the exact same formula again, so you have to cherish the times that you have together
Yeah.
and appreciate one another, and then also, mm, yeah, and we haven't seen each other because we didn't even travel this year for the thing,
Yeah.
so I haven't seen him in like a year and a half. Like something's gonna change.
Something.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Gee.
That's what I'm going to challenge myself to do. I
Yes.
think the trip to visit Isaac was the last like spontaneous trial thing that I was like, okay, this was like enjoyable to go
Yeah.
do this. There was no like expectation of I have to get work done out of this. It was more like for fun, go see him for 2 to 3 days, like make a little trip of it.
Yeah.
And it felt more vacation freedom. And that was something I was enjoying of like, this could be a regular thing if
Yeah.
I don't have the
You
day
could come
job.
visit me.
I could come visit you. I can go visit like Heidi or the Beal. Like the Beals have their things going on. And I'm like, I could go do the Beals things and not feel like, oh,
Yeah.
I have to commit to going 5 hours to this thing
Yeah.
on a weekend that I finally have a free weekend that's not a show. And I feel like it's taking away from, my free time at home. But it's nice to like have that flexibility. But then I'm like, what am I trading that for?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We shall see.
The future is bright.
It takes me a long time, so I'm sure you've seen
I've done a
glimpses
really good
of
job at not pushing.
shifts. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, there's little shifts here and there, and there's little.
Yeah.
I need a lot of nuggets along the. I need a lot of breadcrumbs leading me
Yeah.
to that point to make that decision. So,
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
but
Yeah. Well, this went a whole hour past what we'd planned, but I do feel like it's going to be a very valuable episode for people.
I hope so.
Yeah. Even though I think Ryan cried a little.
I did
But
not, but
I'm kidding. He's taking off his glasses so he can ball his eyes out.
no,
Uh, yeah, cool. Any last words?
I do not have any last words.
I do. Jesus, two of my friends have called in this podcast.
My last words are make sure to take time for yourself. Yeah,
All right.
cool.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.